I'm live.
All right, peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome to GOAT James Kingdom Show with B. Lee and Ajani. As y'all know, we go live every Sunday to talk the GOAT conversation in basketball. We're back again. It's All-Star Weekend. We're at the midway point of the season. Well, not really the midway point, but we're at the All-Star break, guys. So we have our panel as usual. We have Ralph, the MJ delegate for the GOAT James Kingdom crew. What's good, Ralph?
What's happening? What's happening?
All right, and we got Brandon as usual. And, of course, I am here. And we have a new we got a new
What's up?
person on the panel. Okay, G Money, how you doing, G Money? Thanks for
What's up?
joining us. Appreciate you. All
You
right,
guys
so
can hear
you
me,
got,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
you got a little person around. You got your own little crew. You a leader. Um, but yes, thanks for joining for Goat James Kingdom Show, ladies and gentlemen. We are here again. We come live with y'all. We have a great show. Okay, Craig just popped up. What up, Craig?
What's up? What's up?
All right, so we got a great show for y'all as we do every Sunday. Brandon and I always bring the real, and we don't never hesitate or fake for anybody who want to come at us. So we want to thank the panel for joining us. And today's show, we're going to get right to it. So we had the All-Star break Saturday night, last night. You know how it goes, fellas. What you thought about the All-Star Saturday night events last night, Ralph?
I just saw the dunking contest. I didn't get a chance to see anything else, but I was disappointed because my boy Jericho Sims he didn't perform up to snuff. But I gotta give it to McCullum.
Yeah.
Yo, he
Can
put
you
on a
can you mute G Money? Can you mute yourself, man? You have some background noise, please.
like McCullough. He did
Okay.
his thing.
Oh
I
yeah,
gotta give him
McClung.
props.
McClung. McClung.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned him in the group chat. In the group chat.
What?
Uh, yeah, yeah.
He did that 540. I was like, wow.
It was incredible.
Yes.
G
Yeah, it
Money,
was
what you?
so many people was surprised by what he was doing. Like they didn't have the internet the last 3 years. Like that's what the guy do.
I mean,
I,
he
I
could
had
Yeah,
no
dunk.
idea.
he's
I had
You
no
crazy
had
at
idea
no
what
that.
he
idea
was.
about him?
I did. You
Yeah,
see
Shit.
him
I,
in high
I didn't.
school, he was doing it. He was doing his
Yeah.
thing in high school, doing all those dunks, but I didn't know he had that much in his bag. I knew he was able to do it, but wow.
His
Yeah, he
high
got
school
it back.
tapes are crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So do you guys think any other star would have beat him though? You think anybody would have stepped up and beat him? Like anybody like a John Morant or Zion or
Eric
I
Gordon
mean, if John
or
Morant
Levine.
really,
That's
really
maybe.
wanted to, he probably could. Because he got some crazy hops too.
Who?
John Morant.
Hmm.
Yeah. Both of
I
them
don't
got
know if
hops,
he
but it depends on his creativity.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
And this
thing.
is what
And
So
to his
much
McCullough
you can
do.
practice and dunks.
so much you can do in a dunk contest now, and as soon as you think that's all, then they just go and do something that you've never seen before. It was impressive, but it also I was so tired that I fell asleep like towards the end.
Yo,
Well,
that
I
dunk
watched
where
all
he
the other crap, but I couldn't stay up for what I really want to watch.
the
no,
one he did when he
He jumped over
jumped
them and
over
hit it off
and
the backboard.
he double
Oh, the
clutch.
double. What about
That
the one
was
that he hit it off the backboard
the
and then
one
he
he
yeah,
hit
did
it
that
off
off
the
the
was
backboard?
wild.
backboard, I was like, wow, because when they
That was
showed it, it
wild.
was it was from behind. So you was like, what did he do? But then when they went in slow motion and showed that he actually tapped the backboard, it was like, wow, like okay, he came to show. He came to show out. He came to show everybody he was here. I thought it was a really good dunk contest, even the 3-point contest, even though I thought the 3-point contest wasn't fair. As soon as I found out Damon Lillard was going to be in it, I didn't think nobody was going to win it.
Well,
Um,
he's been in it twice before he didn't win.
yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but I don't
Yeah.
know. He's
That's
gotten a
Stephen
lot
Clay
better.
in there with him.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, no, he's
Let's
gotten
be
a lot.
real.
He's gotten a lot better in the last few years. And when I saw him there, I was like, oh man, Dame's gonna win it. He was just gonna be lights out. Even though Halliburton came out lights out to start it
Yeah, yeah.
off.
Ooh, he what 30 plus?
Yeah,
Man.
yeah. So I like the events last night. I think it was fun. It was good. Utah's doing a good job. I didn't know the All Stars game is going to be tomorrow though. I thought it would be today. It's tomorrow. So
It's tomorrow?
yes, tomorrow. It's tomorrow's
Yeah, it's
President's Day.
because it's a holiday. Yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow's President's Day. But I think they
I'm not gonna
choose
watch it
the teams
anyway.
today, right?
I
They're
didn't know
gonna pick.
that.
They're gonna pick the teams today. Yeah, they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, I
It's
thought it
I
was
think the
today.
draft is today. Yep.
I think they're
I
gonna
thought
pick the
it was
players.
today.
No, the All
Yeah,
Star
work.
game is not today. I thought it's actually tomorrow, 6:30, President's Day. So, but we're here at All Star break, guys. It's been a great season. There's been so much going on in today's NBA. This season has been fantastic. You got the standings, Brandon?
Yeah, let me bring them up.
Yeah. Let's just talk about the standings, and then we'll let Brandon come up, because Brandon got a surprise for us like he does every week, and I can't wait for it. Even I don't know what he's going to bring up. But we're going to bring up the standings. This is the standings as of All-Star break. Nothing's really changed, really. Brooklyn's kind of dipped down. But there are some
all the way down.
Yeah, there's some notable.
Bucks is on a winning streak.
Yeah, the Bucks on a winning streak. There's a notable injuries out here. Jaylen Brown got his face fractured, so he's out for about another week.
By Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry is going to be out for a month for the Heat, and Anobili's out for another week. Is that his name? Anobili, the guy from Toronto. I cannot say his name.
OG Anunoby.
OG Anunoby.
Yeah, and OG Anunoby is going to be out for about a week. And then on the West Coast, Curry's going to be out for a week again. Because he was supposed to be coming back, right? Didn't he just recently come back from like a wrist injury or something like that, or a hand injury?
Yeah, I know he was out until the All-Star break. That's all I know.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
and then,
injured. I don't know what it was though.
Yeah, Zion and Cat Williams both had setbacks, so they're going to be out for a few more weeks. And then Kevin Durant should be coming back this week. And but again, this is the standings. Toronto has made themselves, and Washington has popped up in the play-in. Which the East is kind of funny. The top four is solidified. The rest is all in the air how that'll work. But the West, from 4 on down or from 5 on down, a lot can change depending on what's going on with these buyouts. Supposedly Westbrook's going to join the Clippers, so that might help them. I think that's going to actually destroy the Clippers if he goes there, but let's see how that works.
Oh.
I didn't even know the Clippers.
All-Star game is today.
I like.
Mm-hmm.
You sure?
I like this. I like the 6
Okay.
and 7 on the East.
Okay, so it's the All-Star game is tonight. I could have sworn I saw an NBA post that said it was on Monday, but okay. All right, so it is today. Okay, that's great. So when they're going to pick the players, at what time?
I don't know. I thought they usually do it before, like the last,
same time.
the last like game before the All-Star game. They usually do it, but I have no idea.
Hey, Johnny.
Around 8 o'clock.
Hey,
Johnny.
Yes,
I like on the East the 6 and 7. I like that.
I know you like that. That's all right. That's all right. Y'all are looking good. The Knicks are a good team. My Heat are looking good too, though. Now we just got Kevin Love. That's another just a headline news. It just actually happened a few minutes ago. Woj said that the Heat are going to sign Kevin Love. So the Heat about to acquire a very good player to help out Bam in the front line and help out Jimmy. Man, y'all better watch out for my Heat.
You're a good player now, huh?
He was always a good player. He's just not as good as Scottie Pippen and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Like I
take that to the finals.
Oh, we taking it to the finals. I told you we was making the finals before Kevin Love. Don't let us get Westbrook.
Nah, Celtics.
Nah, y'all not getting
finals.
Okay, all right, we'll see. So what do y'all think of the standings before we get to Brandon's special topic? Y'all got anything to say? Ralph, anybody want to discuss the standings and what y'all think as far as
I think unless Boston starts getting their players like not injured anymore, because they've been injured like so much. When they played the Bucks, they didn't even have a single starter. So unless their guys stop getting injured, they're gonna fall out of the first spot for sure. I think because
they only half game up.
Yeah, Milwaukee's just been catching up to them game after game lately. They used to be like 4 games, 5 games behind, but after this streak, they caught right up.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
about Philly though. So Philly's not it, right? Nobody likes Philly.
I don't know. I like Philly, but I don't like James Harden in the playoffs. He always just somehow finds a way to just not be as good as the regular season every time. I always got faith in him, but he always disappoints me.
He's a shooter Ben Simmons in the playoff. That's all.
Philly's always disappointing.
The playoffs are tougher, though. The playoffs are tougher. Teams get to strategize against you a little bit more. So, all right. So, thanks everybody for joining us. We got all our YouTube subscribers. Peace out to Twin Man, NBA Talk, Zero, Jay, the Kobe lover, Dejan. Thanks for joining us. Go ahead, Brandon. You got something special. You know, I can't wait. Go ahead.
All right. So, I always just want to remind everybody that LeBron's the all-time scoring leader, just in case you guys forgot. All right. So let's move on ahead. So there's been a lot of talk about how Jordan accomplishments just outweigh LeBron. Like it's not even close. What Jordan accomplished in his career, LeBron is just not close, and that's why LeBron cannot be the GOAT basically because of what Jordan did in his time in the NBA. Which as we see, like these are the players that had the most MVPs, Finals MVPs, and titles since they got into the league and when they left the league. So Magic, Jordan, and LeBron, these are the guys who really dominated by the time when they were in the NBA. And when you see Jordan with the 6 titles and 6 Finals MVPs, we always say that, there's nobody could basically touch Michael Jordan for what he did in his career. And that's been the consensus for years, I guess, for 20 some years. So as we look at what Jordan accomplished some amazing things. And there's not too many reasons why anyone could say he's not the greatest of all time. Kareem had that amazing career, and most people realize that Michael Jordan was the better player between the two. And when LeBron, he started coming up, what Jordan did in his career, his points per game, his 6 titles and all these different things. And we have grown to say that Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time because of, look at this. This career is amazing. So what I did was I tried to compare Jordan accomplishments to LeBron accomplishments. And, so we could talk about which one is actually better. So as we move along, I just want to let you guys know that I included things that Jordan had. It's sitting at the top of. Like 6-0 in the finals is not something that Jordan is sitting on top of because there's players who have won more. And just like Hondo, he's 8-0. So 6-0 is not a record. Only player with 2 3-peats. He's not the only player with 2 3-peats. He had a teammate who had 2 3-peats, and 6-8 is not better than 8-0. That's what I'm trying to say. 6-0 is not, well, 6-8 is not better than 8-0, which is Bill Russell. So having 2 3-peats is just not going to outweigh winning 8 in a row. I know you guys like to believe that's true, but it's really not. So most consecutive final wins, like I said, 6-0 is not the most. The most awards of all time. He does not have the most awards of all time. He's not the only person undefeated in the finals. He doesn't have the most regular season wins. That goes to the Golden State team. He's not the greatest scorer of all time. We all know LeBron is now the greatest scorer of all time. He's not the greatest winner of all time. That's Bill Russell. He doesn't have the most regular season MVPs. That's Kareem. And he does not have the most wins in the playoffs. So these are the things that I did not include because he's do not have those records. So I didn't include those in this comparison. So let's start off with first, Jordan has the highest game score in a regular season game when he scored that 69 versus Cleveland, and LeBron has the highest game score in a postseason game. So this is basically a wash because both of them did this, one in the regular season and one in the postseason. So I just did this a wash. All right, the highest PER in the regular season and postseason. LeBron has the highest value over replacement in the regular season and postseason. I personally think value over replacement is better than PER, but then again, Jordan is known for the highest PER. So I'm just gonna say that this is a wash as well. So neither one is outweigh the other one in this category, in this advanced stats, which are probably the 2 highest advanced stats that we can have. Next is the Finals MVPs. Jordan won 6 Finals MVPs, and LeBron won 3 Finals MVPs with 3 different franchises. This is kind of controversial for most people. I think it's more difficult to take teams that were not even a title contender and winning titles with them compared to winning titles with the best team in the league. So I just included this as a wash, even though I think what LeBron did was tougher than what Jordan did, but let's just call it a wash. What you guys think, Craig and
that's
Ralph?
not a wash.
I just know
That's
why is the context in his
not a
3
wash.
final MVPs? There's no context to Jordan's 6 final MVPs. And you
That's
say
why I
6
said it's
final
basically
MVPs.
just a wash.
I mean,
No.
he got 6. I don't understand how it's context to one and not context to the other.
I mean,
All
in
right,
terms of Finals
D-Money, what you think?
MVPs, I would give it to Jordan for Finals MVPs, but I mean, only because he has 6. I mean, he doubled how many LeBron has, but
This is not who has the most. This is the record. This is what LeBron did with 3 franchises and what Jordan did with his 1 franchise.
yeah.
Johnny,
But
what
I
you
mean,
think?
between these 2 stats, between these 2 things that's on the screen, I would say that Jordan is more impressive. I'd rather take someone who got 6 Finals MVPs than someone who got 3.
Okay.
Or someone who's going to give me 2 and then bounce to another team, give them 1, and then might come back and give me 1 and then go to another team.
But overall, in terms of
wait a minute,
accomplishments, so LeBron James, he got way more accomplishments than MJ though. Overall,
hold up, Craig.
just
Hold
this
up,
one
Craig.
thing, MJ wins. Just
Hold up.
this one thing.
Hold up, Craig. I'd rather have my guy make it to the 4 finals, leave my team, make it to another 4 finals, and then make it to the finals 2 years after that, than have a guy make 3 straight finals and quit, say I need a break, and come back 2 years later and make another
still
3
wind
finals.
up with more
Quit.
final
Quit,
MVPs
bro.
than your guy who's still playing and still didn't get the 6.
No, but I get what
Brandon.
Brandon is doing. He's like he said, we're trying to compare accomplishments, so he's trying to do it by record. So, okay, Jordan does have 6 Finals MVPs, which is the record, right? That's the most. Nobody has more than him. LeBron does have 4, so it's not, and LeBron is actually second in total on the list. But what Brandon is doing is he's basically saying LeBron has the record. He has 3 Final MVPs on 3 different teams. Nobody has that. So that's
I'm not comparing 6 to 4. Basically.
So now again, it is a subjectiveness for him. He's gonna say it's a wash because he thinks winning 3 championships on 3 Finals MVPs on 3 different teams is as a great of accomplishment as winning 6 Finals MVPs.
So what happened when Kawhi won it this year? Then what?
Well, that would be a record LeBron loses.
No.
You know what I'm saying? That would be a record LeBron loses. But but again, somebody can get.
Is that harder to do if someone's potentially?
What?
Not harder.
Oh,
it's all dependent on circumstances. Really,
is it easier to get 6 or is it easier to get 3? 3 different franchises. It's more.
Both of them, like I said, as a watch.
They're both
hard.
They're both hard. They're both hard.
Well, who's faster? What's faster to accomplish? Getting 6 or getting 3 with 3 different teams?
I mean, honestly, 3 with 3 different teams takes way longer because you sign contracts
6.
with teams.
Yeah. Right, 6.
No, but you could win 3 and Finals MVPs on 3 different teams in 3 different seasons. Now the likelihood of that is
you're gonna have to get traded every season to do that.
So you can't
or sign
technically
one-year
do it
contract.
faster. Again, you can, Craig. You're not wrong. If you want to say, obviously, G Money agrees with you that 6 Finals MVPs is a greater accomplishment. But for Brandon, it's a wash. For me, yeah, I mean, 6 Finals MVPs is Michael Jordan's thing that he has that I wouldn't take it away from him. So, but Brandon says it's a wash. So let's continue.
What?
Yeah, I say it's a wash. That's the final answer. All right, let's keep going. All right, Michael Jordan is the only person to have scoring titles and win multiple MVPs. He did it 6 times. LeBron. He did take 2 teams to 4 consecutive finals in a row. So, but then again, that's advantage Jordan. Like LeBron, did not do that.
You say Jordan's the only scoring champ to win multiple titles? KD got multiple titles. He's a scoring champ.
No,
in
the
same season, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And Jordan did it 6 times.
Wasn't he the first to do it?
Jordan's the first and only, ain't it?
I think he's the first and only guy to actually have a scoring title and a champion in the same season.
No, Shaq got it in 2000.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're right. Shaq did get it in 2000. Correct. Good job. Correct. That's what I'm talking about.
I watch my basketball, man.
All right. Next one is Jordan's scoring titles. So Jordan got 10. LeBron 19 consecutive 25-plus point season. That's pretty impressive, but that's not 10.
I don't agree with you here. I think the 19 consecutive 25 points per game is better than the 10 scoring titles.
I would say this is a wash because none of this will never happen again. You'll never have someone get 10 scoring titles, and you're never going to have someone who get 25 for 19 years. So I would say it's a wash.
What you think, Ralph?
I agree with Craig, actually.
For real?
Yeah.
All right. What about you, G-Money?
Personally, I think LeBron's 25 points per game seasons is a little better just because Michael Jordan had scoring titles in the 90s, which I'm really not trying to hate on the 90s. I know I'm always saying 90s basketball ain't as good as now, but it really just wasn't as good as now. So
but if you look, they had 28 per game scorers who was winning scoring titles in the 2000s too. So
no, they did, but in the 2000s it was like in the 2000s and now you got 30 players, 40 players who's averaging 25 to 30. And back in the 90s, you had 10 guys who was averaging 30. Like nowadays, if you took the top 25 players 30. From now, put them in the 90s,
it was
they're all Hall of Famers.
Did it once in 1990.
That's it.
Besides Jordan.
Besides that,
Jordan did
nobody
what,
in the 90s.
4 times?
He did it 6 times in the 90s, I think. 6 times. Well, no. Yeah, no, 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh, no. He did 90, 91, 92, 93,
93,
and 96.
96.
So that's
He
4
didn't do.
times.
Yeah, he 97, 98 was 29 and 29 and 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nobody else
they-
in that era could average 30 points, though. Nobody in that
They
era
were
could
doing it in 2010s as well, because I mean Carmelo led the league at 28.7 in 2012-2013 season, so they were doing it as well.
That's
No,
what
but
I'm saying. Like,
No, but Kobe
We
was
talking
Kobe.
about a whole decade though.
Yeah, but Kobe and LeBron scored 30 in the season and didn't win the scoring title because Iverson averaged 33. So it's like, you see what I'm saying?
and then
So
Iverson won, averaging 28 too.
no, I know
Then
that, but I'm just saying though.
2015, you had
But I'm just saying
Westbrook
though,
at 28.
25 points per game for 19 seasons. That is incredible. That's but again, he gave Jordan that one. So y'all let's
All
move
right.
on.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right, so Jordan has 5 MVPs in the regular season, which is not a record, but LeBron did it 4 times in 5 seasons. I don't think most people realize that LeBron did this. So I'm gonna get a nod to Michael Jordan. I mean to LeBron James for doing 4 times in 5 seasons. What you guys think?
Yeah, and it took an incredible Derrick Rose. It took an incredible Derrick Rose season to really take away that 5th one. He would have had 5 in a row. Ooh.
I mean, if you just
go, I go last.
About MVPs, but not with the results of the season. Yeah.
Yeah, and he did back-to-back on 2 separate teams, which only was done between him and Kareem.
But let's use context. 4 out of those 5 MVPs were championship years as well, though.
That's true. Yeah, that's correct.
That's what I'm saying. If you just going by
half of the Bronze were championship years.
But Jordan's four MVP years were championship years.
And the other one, he won a defensive player of the year with it. So every MVP followed up with another major award for all 5. He never won it alone.
Michael Jordan, the year 23.
Let's move on. I guess
let's
Giovanni had something to do. All right, so this one is all defensive teams to all NBA teams. So LeBron's gonna get the nod because all defensive team is only important because Jordan has it, but we all know the All NBA is the most prestigious award between the two.
I would agree here.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest NBA honor, the All NBA team.
Let's go ahead and move on. All right, Jordan highest points per game in the record. Oh, you want to say something, Ralph?
I thought everybody else was gonna say something.
I don't think it's too much to say about this one.
I mean, you really think 9 all defenses?
Well, I mean, I had to get some chance to actually look things up. That's why. But go ahead.
LeBron has 13
this shouldn't even be a debate right here. Yeah, this shouldn't really be a debate.
Jordan's actually tied. He's actually tied with the first team on defensive teams. He's not. Yeah, he has 3 other guys that has it with him.
All right. So this one is the highest points per game and the all-time leading scorer in the regular season. This is going to go to LeBron. This shouldn't really be a debate either. This shouldn't really be a debate.
They're going to debate. Go ahead, Rob. Go ahead, Craig. Tell us why.
No, all I'm going to say is the NBA recognizes averages over totals for the season award. So I'm just saying they prefer averages over totals because it tells you how much each game you're going to guarantee a game. When totals just means you just got to participate.
Total is just the participation. All right.
No, I'm just saying, the NBA, you can win a scoring title with the highest average and not have the most points of that season. You can't win a scoring title with having the most points and not have to have the highest average in the season.
A scoring title isn't a record.
But I'm just saying, they recognize
stat,
it because it's a
but this stat ain't about who's got scoring titles. This stat is about what's more impressive, having the most points per game.
I mean, it is
recorded in a season or having the most points all time in the NBA. I would say having the most points all time in the NBA is the best.
Right.
I mean,
this is the greatest award in the NBA. The greatest record in NBA is the all-time leading scorer. So it's never been points per game.
And highest points per game in regular season. That's a record, but only as far as they've been recording. Because in reality, Wilt got that record with 50 points per game. So it's kind of like a false record in a sense, because Wilt even beat him. So.
And him
he's talking about for their career
in the season. It's over.
No,
Wilt averaged 50 in the season.
We already had this discussion. They're not
They
tied.
both averaged 30.1. They're tied.
You have to round up for Wilt. You don't have to round up for.
You have to round
Jordan,
down. You have to use the 10th
No.
decimal. You cannot go to
Wilt-
the 100th.
Wilt is second.
It doesn't exist.
Wilt is second in NBA records on points per game
Yeah.
list all time. He really is.
He got him
averages, listed as second.
His average is 30.1. That's what I know. That's what I
Alright,
know.
so-
That's your subjective answer.
No, that's an objective answer.
He's
You go look
going
up-
to
that's
stick to this.
subjective.
I'm going to stick to
He's
that
gonna
because
stick
that's
to
what it
this. He ain't
says.
changed
Because-
yet.
So
Because
you're
when you
being
go to
subjective.
the NBA, when you go
Be
to his record,
objective.
it says 30.1. That's what it says.
Is
That's
that your
what it says.
objective answer?
But
Yes.
you could also
No,
say that if
that's-
you look
that's
up
false
NBA
then.
scoring record points per game list, in the standings and the records on NBA.com, it's going to have MJ first and Wilt second. So even though it says the same,
They're
when you
both
round
gonna
up,
say they're still going to
he's
say
still
30,
in second place.
They still say
You have to-
30.1.
They put Jordan first just for the fact that a man averaged 50 and for his career he had to tie with Jordan, as Jordan never averaged 54 seasons. So that just goes to show
I
you
find
why
it
they
no.
put him
I
out there.
find it funny that 0.05 points matters more than 6,000 more points.
That's
But let's continue. Let's continue.
Hey,
All right, so we
Let's
can all
continue.
consider that the all-time regular season scoring leader is the top award in the NBA. I mean, the
You
top
do.
record in NBA.
Oh, that's
you
easy.
do.
Yeah, it is that. So since that's the case, it's going to go to the postseason. LeBron's the postseason scoring leader, even though Jordan is the highest. Just like in the regular season, the all-time leader is going to get the nod. Then when we go to career, it's the same thing. Jordan's the highest career. LeBron's the all-time career leading scorer. So it's just going to keep going by LeBron. So, all right. So let's go ahead to the next one. All right. So we got the highest points per game in the final series win, and compared to LeBron, who led both teams in all 5 statistical categories in the finals win. This is going to go to LeBron because he did everything in that final series versus the greatest team of all time in the regular season. May I add? All right, what you guys think about this one?
I think that LeBron had the best finals performance in NBA history when they came back 3-1 against the Warriors. So I think this is LeBron easily.
Correct.
Craig,
Yeah.
what you think?
Yeah, that what he did against the Warriors was excellent. I don't think anything can top that.
Hey,
Ralph?
somebody. Go ahead, Ralph. My bad.
There's only one time. Just let me be glad Jordan did it 6. You know what I'm
Yeah, my thing is like
He ain't get the highest
final
points per
win,
game in final series
it's
6
like-
times, only once.
Like that.
no,
Right,
he's talking about all together in 6 finals, like combined. I say because Jordan's 6-0 within this. That's why I think it's Jordan enough.
No, that's not
No.
6-0. That's just him
He
having the
averaged-
most points per game for
And
one series.
you
in
This
the
ain't
finals
6-0.
win.
saying
This
This
is one
versus the
series.
Suns. This versus the Suns.
in the Suns.
Yeah, a final series win, and
This
this
is
LeBron
one
final
highest
series
points per
win.
game final series, one series.
Could average more, but he ain't let it get to 7.
It's basically
Yeah.
who do you think had the best? Who do you
Yeah.
think had the best finals performance in one
Which
series? of
record
all
is the
time? Who do
best?
you think's
Basically,
better?
which record is the best?
I mean,
41
winning in the
points.
6 games compared to winning in 7.
But bro,
Okay,
that's not what it's
so-
about. It's about what record. It's not who won faster. It's
Yeah, like
do you
what
think
You gotta
record
having
use
the
is
most?
context
the
with
best?
it. Nah, bro, you gotta use context.
Context.
That's
If you
no,
use
bro, that's not
context,
You
That's
gotta
not
use
context.
full
These are
context.
context,
records.
it's going to be
Nah,
LeBron because he did it versus Golden State down 3-1.
But Jordan didn't go
context.
down. He wouldn't have never let it go down.
Bro,
like that.
And
That's
Jordan
not-
wasn't playing
that's
a team
not
that was
context,
73 and
though.
9.
That's not
Okay.
even context.
Who
This
had
is
the
just
record
No,
records.
it's not
before them?
context.
Season records don't matter. Now it's the 73
No, who
and
said
9.
it
I
never
gotta pick a
mattered?
struggle.
Nah, man.
He said if we use
if we bring up
context,
seasonal records,
if we
no
use
context.
context, it's going to be LeBron. If we
There's no
use
con- listen.
context, easily.
There's no context in saying 6 games, winning in 6 games is better than winning in 7 games when you're not using the context of who the competition was. You're playing against the Suns. The Bulls at that time shouldn't even took 6 games against the Suns. They should have beat them in 5.
You're saying
they
it like
had
the
an
Suns were
MVP and they won
scrubs. They were not
60+ games. What are you
scrubs.
talking about?
And the Bulls were far from not scrubbers
Oh.
themselves. The
And
Bulls
you
beat
saying
them
it
in
like the
5.
Warriors
You
wasn't
acting like the
best team of
Suns
all
was
time.
bad.
Huh?
No, they're
Right.
not the best team of all time because they didn't win
They
the
is the best
championship.
team of all time. What?
They didn't win the championship. Hold on. winning
Because of
73
LeBron.
wins
That's
and
why he
losing
got the
compared
record. Because
to
this record
the
is more important
96
because of
Bulls
LeBron.
winning 72 wins and winning it. No, you
Bro,
can't compare
the
that.
96 Bulls was playing against some
But we're not talking
scrubs,
about the
playing
No.
against
'92
the
Bulls. We're
trash.
talking about the '93 Bulls.
I'm
How's
responding
team win
to
73 games
what's his
and
name?
you go?
We're
How's
talking
team win
about the
72 games when they
93
play against
Bulls.
scrubs and the team might win
No,
73? What
We're
you think
talking
they was
about
playing
the
with
'93
podcasters?
Bulls.
no, Johnny,
We're talking about the
when he
'93
said
Bulls playing the Suns. They won it in 6 games. The Cavaliers won in 7 games. Ralph is trying to make the context that because
no,
Jordan won in 6 games, it must be a little bit better because he didn't have to go 7.
no, Johnny, what he said was the best team. That's what I responded to.
The best
When he
regular
made
season
the
team.
But you said
The best
What
regular
he
season
said,
team. We know they're
he
not the
said
best team. You
best
can't be
team.
the best
No,
team if
no,
you
no,
don't have
no,
a
no, no, no.
championship.
He said best team.
But
So
he's talking
I
about
had
regular
I
season.
no, 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 no. I know what he was
He's
talking
saying
about. He
he's
said
responding
best
to me
team.
saying Golden State is the best team of all time,
Yes,
which
that's
they
what
are.
I'm responding to.
Oh, you talking about the whole
Yeah,
dynasty.
that's
You're not
what.
G
talking about
Buddy sticking to
2016.
this.
Yeah.
Said they are. All right, let's go ahead and
Wait.
move. Let's go ahead and move
Hey,
on.
somebody said Wilt Chamberlain would have averaged more if he would have quit twice too. But go ahead.
I'm not
All right.
listening
So,
to
all right.
still play more games than
So,
Wilt though.
so Jordan
Still,
has
that make
Jordan
no
has the
sense.
most 40-point and 50-point playoff games, but LeBron has the most 20, 25, 30, 500-point playoff series, 30-point and 10 assist playoff games, and 40-point and 10 assist playoff games. So when we look at these records, it's going to be obviously LeBron because he did a lot more than just score those 40 and 50-point games.
He has the most 40-15 rebound games too.
Yeah,
for
well,
this
he has a lot more.
I don't really think this one's fair because you only put 2 records of MJ's. I bet MJ probably got some more
That's-
records for
that's
points in a game.
Yeah, that's all he got for the
About
40
a
and
game,
50
never
point
scoring
games.
under 20.
He don't
No,
got records
He's
for
the
like
only
most.
player
He don't
that
got
didn't
records
score
for like
less
most
than
30.5
15
assist
in a
games.
playoff game.
No, he doesn't have the
Only
most for
person.
35 and 5. 30 and 5 is LeBron still.
Yeah,
He's
yeah, I
gotta
mean,
have some other records than that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes, he does.
yeah, he did.
has a whole lot
He
more.
did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, I'm
did.
going to admit he did until LeBron grabbed him. All right, so let's
Jordan
go ahead
never-
and move on. This is
Jordan never
this-
scored under 15. He's the only one that never scored
Yeah,
under 15 in
I'm
the
pretty sure he
playoff
never shot under
game.
15 times too. All right, so this one
It
is
ain't got nothing to do
Jordan
with
is the only player to win MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and scoring title in the same year, which is completely outraged by LeBron being top 10 in points, assists, steals, and 3-pointers made. You know, doing it for 1 year is great, but doing it for a career is just a lot better.
That's what I say all the time. Praise somebody for doing something for a season, but you don't want to praise them for doing it for a career.
Yeah, he did that every season because he got more than one scoring title.
Okay, he only got 1 defensive player of the year. That's all. Just
Hey,
one.
LeBron gotten 0. What the
I know
hell?
But LeBron is top
Yeah,
10
it's
in all of these categories.
Because he
It's
played
funny
longer.
that you compare one season to a whole career.
He got all
That's-
that. And what
Jordan-
accolades
Jordan
Jordan get to be in
should
top
You
10?
compare
What
a-
accolades
Jordan
did that
should have
give to
played
him?
longer. Jordan should have played longer. It's not
Nah, you
nobody-
come-
I'm
this
trying.
is a hard-
I'm trying to help out Jordan. He just
No,
don't have
no.
that many records that LeBron James got.
This is a trash comparison. You compare a whole career compared to one season. Like, really?
Because when we try to compare careers, y'all keep talking about more.
He
LeBron-
right
I mean,
though. This is a bad comparison. You can't
we
be like
are-
which
we
record
are
is better
comparing
than put up a
records.
weak ass record like that, and then put up a crazy ass record like that for LeBron.
But that's
I
what
mean,
LeBron
so
does.
lopsided.
There's
I
no
understand that.
comparison with Jordan, so this is the only thing I could come up with.
Ain't no
How
player
All right,
that's
so-
top
the
10.
only player with all the major awards.
All
in
right,
the
so
NBA.
so this one is
Yeah.
Michael Jordan had 2 seasons of 100 plus blocks and 200 plus steals, which is outweighed by LeBron being the only player with 100 plus blocks and 2,150 plus steals in their careers.
Oh, this is funny.
So, like I said, 2 seasons of Jordan doing this for a record compared to a career is going to be LeBron James.
So now we can't do
Like we
seasons no more. I could have sworn that's all we did with Jordan with seasons.
I mean, he got a
I could've sworn
defensive
seasons
player
is all we ever
award
do
for
is
that
talk about
for
Jordan.
that season. So he got acknowledged for doing that. You don't get acknowledged for having 1,000 blocks.
He gets
2,000.
but that's what I'm saying. His all-time
steals in a career.
Jordan's Jordan's all-time records are all per season stuff. He doesn't have all-time records for careers, so we can't talk about Jordan's records for careers. He doesn't have careers records. He don't have them.
Because he
That's
didn't.
the same thing that Isaiah Thomas said. You can't really make Jordan the greatest when he doesn't really have any records.
That's what Brandon is showing. He's giving you the records Jordan have. They're only seasonal records. You guys are mad that we're showing you Jordan's seasonal records.
Yes, because every season he was the best player. He just because he's been
in the
playing
90s.
longer than
In the
everybody.
LeBron's
90s.
all time.
LeBron's
all time.
LeBron's all time.
All time is
All
games
time.
played. The season is what you did that season and how
All
long
time.
you
All
did
time
that
is actually
season.
all time. And
All time,
season is actually season.
4,000
It don't matter how
plus
many games.
Yeah, baby.
Well,
All right,
like
come on,
even
Brandon.
with the last one that you put up with Michael Jordan saying how it was MVP scoring title all in one season, you didn't even put that. He did that 4 separate times. So you could have put that he had did that and then put all 4 of the times he did it, but you only put the one time that he did it and made it into one season against LeBron's whole career.
Ooh,
It's
yeah.
so much
Have
And
better.
also
defensive player of the year.
you also didn't include that he also won Finals MVP in that same exact season and won an NBA championship in the same season that he won all those awards in the same season.
He actually
4
didn't do that
times.
at all because they lost in the
He
second
did.
round
I'm
that year.
looking
But
at
it's
it
cool.
right now. I'm looking at it right
I don't
now.
No,
know
the defensive player of the
what
year.
you're looking at. He lost in the
I'm
first
looking
round.
at
I mean,
I'm looking at his
second round.
accolades.
He
And
was
in
4-1.
seasons of MJ's career, in 4 seasons, he won
Uh-huh.
MVP, scoring title, first team all defensive NBA championship, and Finals MVP in the same season. He did that 4 times.
Okay, but that's not the record. He put defensive player of the year here.
That's the
Yeah, defense
88
play-
season when
That's
he
the
didn't win
that's
the
the only one
championship.
other thing. But
That's
that's what I mean by your.
that's the record
But
he
that's
put
what I
forth
mean
this
by.
season.
But that's what I
He
mean by
won
your
a
cherry.
major
But that's what I
award.
mean by your cherry picking certain stuff.
No, he didn't.
Like
he
I
didn't
said,
bring up
every
that record.
NBA
You
That's
just need to
another
put
record.
up. You just
another
need to
major
put up
award here.
all their accolades, all their stats, and compare them at the same time. You can't just cherry pick one thing from MJ and then pick a better thing from LeBron and say,
Okay, G Money, are you familiar with our show?
yeah.
Okay, so if you're familiar with our show, you would know that we've done that countless times. What we're doing is basically what Brandon is doing. Like I told you, I didn't know Brandon was doing this, but me and Brandon are partners. We know exactly what's going on. He's bringing up a record.
I'm bringing up the stuff that the Jordan
defensive
fans
player
state.
I'm not
of the-
saying.
no,
I'm
wait,
not
I'm
saying
bringing
you've
up the
never done
stuff that the Jordan fans
Defensive
state.
player of the year doesn't count for those years that you're talking about because the year he won defensive player of the year, he did not win a championship.
I'm not saying that you've never done it. I'm just saying that for this specifically, he's saying that all these things aren't fair. But Ralph is right. For this specific situation, you're just pulling up. You can't just pick any 2 records and say one is better than the other. This whole thing is subjective because you as a person chose all these records to put up here. You got to
that's
put
true.
up all their stuff fairly.
No,
You
that's
can't
true.
just put up one
But
thing.
it's not our fault that we could talk about Michael Jordan better than Jordan fans. We love for them to come on our show and explain why Jordan's this, that, and the third, but they have yet to do that for us. So
Yeah.
they can't be mad at us for that.
We have you.
Okay,
just
that's true.
choose not
No,
to
we've
listen.
given you guys.
That's why we have Ralph
No,
and
we
Craig
have.
here.
Oh wait,
And I'm
Ralph,
not gonna
They
argue for
just don't
MJ because
accept
LeBron
it.
is better.
They
When
just
you're-
don't accept it. We
no,
have.
wait, Ralph. You both have Ralph and Craig. I gave us their criteria. Nowhere in their criteria did they mention the 4 seasons Michael Jordan was all NBA first team, the all defensive first team, scoring
Craig
title,
did.
NBA champion.
I did. That was
Craig
I
did.
did.
Craig
Craig, you
did.
did? And your
Yes, he
highlight-
did.
your
I did
See,
the first
that's what I'm
4
talking about. They don't listen
I
to
did. I
us.
did
your
get
grade?
it right through the season, how many totals they
Yeah.
had, and
Uh-huh.
what the results of that season, the scoring record, where they ranked them from assists, points, steals, and blocks. That was my graph.
LeBron versus
Jordan. I did their
right?
first 4 years before they started winning.
Okay, yeah, you did do that. I remember you doing that. But you mentioned the 4 seasons in general, saying that Jordan was the only one to do that.
I
That's
didn't
why.
give him the whole graph because it'd have been more pages. I just gave him the first 4 years.
See, he didn't give it to us.
See,
But you
this
should know
is
what he did.
No, I'm not saying. I'm
Oh
just
my
saying. But y'all
God.
just mad. Y'all mad at
That would've
Brandon.
took the whole show.
Brandon, no, he did it. Brandon, listen, Brandon did some good work. That's some good work.
you know,
Those are
let's
records
just keep
Michael
on
Jordan
going. Like,
has.
if you guys want Jordan to have that, he can have that one. It's cool. You know, it's still he's still getting demolished.
Honestly,
All
when you
right.
explain it like that, though, it's right. So maybe Ralph, you should just come up here with some of your own records to
Oh,
counter.
I
because
already
you should just come
came
through.
with my criteria and everything.
All right.
I have.
Yeah. So
Yeah, but your criteria did not have that. Your criteria had
My criteria had
100,000 to
everything. It had
72
the
games. You compared everything. No, you're right. You did, but you didn't mention that record. You guys did not mention anything about records. You guys just mentioned.
Right, so-
I put everything on
all right,
the
y'all.
board.
Let's just keep
put
going
all
because
of
this
it
is already
on the
10:40.
table.
All
I'm
right,
ready
so
for the
this
next
is
one.
Jordan has the most points in the playoff series, and LeBron averages triple double for a final series. This is going to be LeBron.
Yeah, this LeBron easy.
Most points in a playoff game, just
Yep.
the game. And this was for the series, a triple double in the series for the finals.
So you're gonna compare game to series.
I mean, this is what Jordan has as records. I'm sorry if Jordan
comparing
does
his
not have more
record.
We're
records.
not gonna
I'm so
say
sorry
how
if Michael
Jordan
Jordan did
averaged
not
the
have
most
more
assists
records.
in a finals as well.
We could
That's
what?
a playoff series. In the finals, that
Okay,
was
we could
Okay,
say he
so
averaged more
what's
assists,
better?
but that's not better than a triple double in the
Averaging
final.
the most assists in the finals or averaging triple doubles in the finals? Which one's better?
when
Well,
he
average
averaged
the
the
most
triple.
when you win the finals is better than averaging triple double.
They both won. They both
Yeah.
won these
He
finals.
also lost
Hold
averaging a
on.
triple double in
No,
the
no,
finals.
he didn't. No, he
Wait
lost
a
his
minute.
finals.
Yeah, he actually lost his finals.
He lost his finals. You're right.
This was the
Okay.
finals, the first one against the Warriors.
The second one.
No, the third
The
one.
last one. The last
Oh,
one.
the last one. Oh, the last
No,
one.
the third one.
The
Yeah,
third
17th.
one.
Yeah, this is the third one.
The third one when they
The
won
first
one
one
game.
with KD. The first one with KD. The
Okay.
one he scored 51 in game one.
No, that was the fourth one. This is the third one. All right, let's move on.
They don't like it, Brandon.
No, it's not that we don't like it. It's just it doesn't make
It's
sense.
good. It's
All
good.
right,
Let's keep
so
going.
Michael Jordan is the only player in the top five. Well, this isn't true anymore. No, this is actually true. He's the only player in the top five in points and steals.
Yes, he is.
And LeBron's the only player in the top four in points and assists. Being LeBron is number one in points and number four in assists is going to outweigh number five in steals and number five and no, he's number four in steals and number five in points. This is going to be LeBron.
I would agree. This one is
Only stat
easily
geeks have
LeBron.
LeBron over MJ.
Only records. All right, let's keep going.
Oh my God, that's funny. Yeah, go.
All right, Jordan is top four in points and steals in the playoffs. LeBron's number one in points and steals in the playoffs. Yeah, that's going to be advantage LeBron.
But he's not records anymore.
These are not records,
These are
even though
records?
LeBron has. Like Jordan just don't have that many records as people think. All right,
That's exactly. That's facts.
Michael
gotta
Jordan's the
play
oldest
forever for
player to
records.
start an All-Star game. LeBron has the most All-Star game starts. That's going to go to LeBron.
And I'll also say LeBron is probably going to also beat that record that MJ has right there. So he's only going to have that for so long.
No.
Is LeBron gonna have over 20 All-Star selections for his career? Whew.
He has, I think he has 19.
He is 19 now.
19 at the moment. He has the most selections and starts.
And he's going to play for a couple more years, and he's going to
All
keep
right.
getting them too.
Lord have
Jordan is the oldest player to score 50 points in the game. LeBron's the oldest to do it multiple times in the season. Advantage LeBron. Guys, this is not funny because all I hear is Michael Jordan has the advantage and knows everything over LeBron.
This is worse than me pulling up the NBA awards and honors. This is
All right, Jordan is the oldest player to average 20 points in a season. LeBron's the oldest player to average 30 points in a season. Advantage LeBron.
They both
This
lost
sounds like-
averaging those points in the season. So
Yeah.
Here comes the loser.
This sounds like Dr. Seuss book. Like,
No, this sounds like
Oh my
Michael
God,
Jordan
bro.
versus LeBron.
no.
No, this sounds like a creative way to talk basketball in the
No.
GOAT conversation.
And
Welcome
this is
to GOAT
why
James Kingdom.
LeBron is over Michael Jordan because I put 16 of the top categories. LeBron is top 10 and 13 of them. This is how amazing LeBron is. And for one, I didn't even include that he's the only player with 500 double-doubles and 100 triple-doubles. I didn't even include this. And I also didn't include that he's the only person with 30, 10, and 10 for a career. So, just like I said, Jordan's accolades do not outweigh LeBron's accolades because LeBron just has more. If you always say that LeBron is better, I mean Jordan is better because he did this and LeBron couldn't do it. That's really not true. When we could see that LeBron has did all this stuff, and LeBron even said it himself that he could be a point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, power forward, a center. He could do it all. LeBron even said it himself. And when we even look at it, we could see that when LeBron's a point guard. He won the assist title and the Finals MVP and the title. When he was a shooting guard, he was Rookie of the Year. At 18 years old, he was the youngest player to score 40 in a game. When he's a small forward, he won 3 MVPs, 2 Finals MVPs, 2 All-Star MVP, 3 All-Star game MVPs, two-time Olympic gold medal. Move him to the power forward. He's going to still be an MVP and a Finals MVP while shooting 57% from the field and 39% from the three-point line. You know what? Last year he said, "You know what? I'm gonna play center," and he averaged 37, 12, and 2 as a starting center.
Don't use averages. Please don't use averages.
So that is why. That is why.
The whole show he used numbers, but now he wants averages.
Please don't.
This is why LeBron's the greatest of all time. Even when you show him in a postseason versus you guys' favorite players, he's going to outplay your favorite players at what they do best. You go to points, Jordan, more. Assists, LeBron, more. Rebounds, Robin, LeBron, more. Blocks, LeBron, Mutombo, more. Three-pointers made, Reggie and Bird, LeBron got more. Three-point percentage, LeBron shoot a high three-point percentage than Bird on the playoff. You go to field goal percentage, LeBron shoot better than Wilt Chamberlain. You go to triple doubles with Oscar and Russell. LeBron has more than both of them combined. You go to double doubles, that's LeBron over Hakeem. You go to wins, LeBron has more wins in the playoffs than Bill Russell. If you want to go to buzzer beaters, LeBron has more than Kobe and Mike combined. This is why LeBron James is, the greatest player we've ever seen.
What did that give him, though? You just named everything.
What did that give him? The most accomplished basketball player of all time.
Now, what did it
Okay,
result?
I'm going to go to some more records that LeBron James got in the regular season. He even got, it's so many that you can't even look. You got to squint your eyes to see what LeBron James has. Like, it's not even fair what LeBron James has. I don't even know what this dude is made of. He ain't made of anything that's human.
He came out with a thesaurus.
And then we're going to go to the postseason. LeBron got so many different postseason awards you can't even see it. And when you even go to Mike, Mike and Scotty in the playoff versus LeBron James, you do their stats. They even played more minutes combined than LeBron James. They barely got more points, barely got a few more rebounds, less assists. They have the advantage in 2 steals because it's 2 versus 1. More 3-pointers. They made more field goals, but LeBron got more triple doubles. Yeah, combined they got 6 wins combined.
The results you play for the results, not for the stats.
Hey Ralph, we don't got a tow truck, bro. We got ambulances because y'all having heart attacks right now.
Nah.
So I'm
gonna respond.
I
mean, he's been going on and on and on and on.
No, he's on fire. Listen, y'all thought I was
on fire.
The sports analyst, bring it to us. Go ahead, brother Brandon. Don't stop.
I'm gonna just stop it right there. I'm gonna just stop it right there because I got more and it ain't even fair no more. All right, so since I used up 45 minutes of our time, we could go ahead and give it to you, John.
No, okay, yeah. Before I can't even respond. I'm not ready to go after you. You did. I wasn't prepared for this. You just took the show. This is great show. Go ahead, Ralph. Go ahead. So this again, you guys are the MJ delegates. You're supposed to check me and Brandon. We're having fun. So let's pop our bubble. Come on, pop our bubble. Let's have some fun. So what's up, man? Come on, Ralph. Come with it.
90% of that stuff was all longevity. All of it was longevity.
That's why I said
longevity is part of making who's the greatest player, though. So
No, you see, it's one-sided though. See, that's half of the conversation.
That's not only half.
That's what he had. Yes.
So if he has more points, more rebounds, more assists, more wins, more steals, why does he have more MVPs, more final MVPs, 1 championship? The results of playing basketball, not just playing basketball. What happened to the results?
Name all the results: the points, rebounds, assists.
I'm talking
all
about
this
the
other
results
stuff.
of a game when it's 0 on the clock. What happens to a team? What team loses? What team wins?
But even MJ, bro, played for a good amount of time. He had longevity too, but only because LeBron played more than MJ does longevity not count. If LeBron had played the same season as MJ, then it wouldn't be matter. But because he plays more, now its longevity is half.
Jordan was in the league 9 times. A team that he was on made the finals. LeBron was in the league 20 seasons, 9 times. Someone is on his finals when he was a part of. So he played more, but yet they have the same amount of seasons where they didn't have the
LeBron also played against way more all-stars. He played against way better players.
G-Money, hold on. I got this. Craig, you are really digging yourself into a corner with this. And this is why GOAT James Kingdom. This is why GOAT James Kingdom exists. Because here it is, you are telling us we shouldn't count stats. We got to count. Oh, wait. No, we got to count stats. No, we can't count because the per game averages, you guys don't want to go there. Because the per game averages, LeBron has more assists, more rebounds. They tied in blocks. The only thing Jordan has in averages It's 0.8. They're tied in blocks. There's 0.8.
No.
Oh my God.
They're not.
Shit, my
Jordan's
God.
0.83. LeBron's
Listen, you
0.76.
guys cannot decalculate the NBA
What are you
stats.
talking about?
If
you want
go
to look at NBA stats?
Go to NBA.com. It's going to say 0.8. And 0.8 and 0.8 is
And last
equal.
time I checked,
I went to math.
listen, you gotta
I
have a player that
know,
has you pass the ball that can score.
listen, no. I know in math, when you round up, every number after that gets canceled out. So once you round to 0.8, every number behind that is a 0. So that means 0.8 is equal to 0.8.
Johnny, you don't need to yell, man.
No, but you guys cannot do this because what you're doing is LeBron James' average is not 0.76. It is 0.8. No, it's not. Because you have to round it to the 10th place.
Let's take the time and look at NBA.com and let's see.
It's not going to say 0.76. It will say 0.8. Because that is what LeBron James' average is. It is 0.8 blocks per game. This is why averages do not have any validity, because it is only an average. He is not giving you a 0.8 blocks per game.
NBA.com stats don't go past the first decimal. So
of course they don't go past the first decimal because their official number. Because the official number for any
and yelling, bro. Yo, calm it down, and see you cut me off. I didn't even get a chance.
It's my point. It's my point of the show. You try to cut me off because I told you it's 0.8. It is 0.8, Ralph. If you can't find 0.8, go find 0.8 and let me talk. Go find it. Go find the 0.76 for me.
It is 0.8. I'm looking at it right now. It is 0.8.
While I talk, the NBA does not use the 100th decimal. The official recorded record for an NBA stat that is an average does not go to the 100th decimal. You must, again, it is mandatory. It is absolutely something you must do. Is go to the 10th place. If you do not do that, you are not using an official NBA stat.
So, I have a question for you. So, when you look at what place they're in and everything, Jordan is at 224th in blocks per game. LeBron is at 250. Why is that if they're tied? Please explain that.
What is the number? No. It is
like
a list.
I told you.
It is a list. Again.
All right. So why is Jordan ahead of him? Why is he on the list ahead of him? Explain that then.
Of what? What's the list?
Of blocks per game. If you look at blocks per game, Jordan is 224. LeBron is 250. If they were tied, they would share the same spot. So explain to me why they don't.
The same spot. It's called 0.8 blocks per game.
No, man. Yo, I just explained to it. Jordan, they got Jordan listed at 224.
Again,
they got LeBron at 250. Explain
224
to me why.
what?
That's the number.
In the placement on the list.
That's the
Jordan's at 224. LeBron's at 250. Please explain to me, because there's other players that were tied and they shared the same spot. Please
I'm explaining it to you because it's not a ranking list. It is just a list. It is not a ranking.
There is no spot. What are you talking about? He's higher.
There is no NBA all-time ranking list.
When they're tied, you have to go to the 10. What are you talking about? That's how math go. If it's tied, they do have to do that. You got to go.
Ralph,
go to the 10, and that's how you see it's a higher number. That is basic math. What are you talking about?
There is no ranking system for all-time
I didn't say
NBA.
ranking.
Okay.
I didn't say ranking.
So the only time you want to go from 224 to 250 is when you have a ranking system. There is no ranking system.
What are you talking about?
The stat is, listen, the stat is 0.8. There's over 20-something players in NBA history that average 0.8 blocks per game. They're all tied at 0.8 blocks per game.
Go look on your computer right now. Look at your computer right now. Tell me what it says next to their name. Because when it's spots like that, whoever has the highest number is going to be the highest on the list.
Highest for what?
You still didn't answer my question. You still didn't answer my question.
What does the list represent? What does the list represent?
Whoever has the highest, the highest on the list,
the highest, the 100, the high 100.
Whoever's on the high on the list has the bigger number. Very simple. It's basic. Come on, man. I can explain that to the other one.
Ralph, again, when you round to the 10th decimal, right? What happens to the 100th place?
What?
When LeBron goes from 0.76 to 0.8, What is after the 8?
It's rounded. You round LeBron up.
It's math. We're talking math. What number is after the 8?
I'm not understanding what you're asking.
7.6. 0.76 gets turned to 0.8.
That's you rounding up.
Okay, that's rounding up. Okay, what is the number after 8 when you round up to 0.8? What is the exact same number after? What's the number, the direct number afterwards when you do that?
After 8 is 9.
No, it's 0. It's 0.80. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. They round it up. It is an average. It is not an accurate total. It's not an accurate number.
No,
it is an average. It is a determination to just figure out. It is an estimate.
It is an estimate. The stat that you're saying is an average, but Ralph is just saying that in general, if you get down to it, there is a record of who has steals per game NBA all-time list.
I did video on this. I don't want to get down to the nitty-gritty. If my math teacher asks me to round up to the 10th place, I can't look at her and say, "Well, Jordan's 224 and LeBron's 250. I don't want to round to the 8th to the 10th place."
That's a different subject. That's a different subject.
Listen, the NBA stat says you must do the rounding. If you decide to not do the rounding, that is your decision to do such.
No.
I will do the rounding, and my rounding says it is 0.8. So when we do 0.8,
so you're subjective.
Yeah, but NBA.
That's objective. That's objective. You're subjective because now you're de-rounding. You're doing your own math, not the NBA's math.
But also objectively, NBA does have a steals per game list, and on that list, MJ is above LeBron.
Yes.
Objectively.
No, of course. We know
that's a fact.
Per game steals. I didn't say that. I said they were tied in blocks. Jordan only has points per game. Steals per game.
Blocks. Whatever it is, they could be tied. But on the list though, MJ is ahead of them though.
Okay, so now this is what we're gonna do. All right, it's my time. It's my time. This is what we're gonna do. I have always been told that I'm just some crazy guy that just talks. I'm casual. I went on Ralph's Live and TikTok, and I got all these Jordan fans and ESPN, NBC fans telling me I'm a casual. I don't know how to talk basketball. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a video of somebody saying the same shit that I be saying, but it's a real basketball player, a professional basketball player, a Hall of Famer, saying the same things I say about LeBron James. And I would love for y'all to tell me he's a casual. Go ahead, Brandon, play it.
He's going to be 38 average. He's going to average 30 this year, bro. Yeah, 38.
Crazy. That's crazy.
See, this is what makes him go on top of the list to me. This shit right here. If we talking about shot making, if we talking about ability, if we talking about skill, he in all those conversations. But now you're doing some shit where, the greatest couldn't even do this. Wilt couldn't do this. Jordan couldn't do this. Jordan couldn't do this. Jordan couldn't do this. Jordan couldn't do this. 38. Man, 38 in the league is really like 45. I'm being dead ass.
Let me ask you
been
this.
38
I'm
before.
saying,
These are
people
all
debating,
facts.
like talking about him because we look at LeBron as a great all-around player, but is he the greatest scorer ever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The number say it. The fuck. Yeah. Fuck.
So that's KG. I was on your live, Ralph, and other lives on TikTok, and KG was saying the same thing that I was saying, that LeBron James' ability to play the basketball the way he's been playing for all of these years and to dominate the game of basketball makes him the greatest scorer of all time and actually makes him the greatest player to ever play the game of basketball. It's hard to deny it when you watched it, you've seen it, all of this stuff. I get called casual for this. I get called a subjective person. Here it is. You guys always want to be subjective. You always want to use your eye test. But when Brandon uses his eye test, you guys want to bicker and beef. We can't have our eye test. When we try to be objective and throw away our subjectiveness, you guys get mad and say, no, that's not fair. There's more to it. There's context, blah, 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 blah. So I was told during your live, because I was asked, why is LeBron the greatest scorer? The all-time record wasn't enough, right? I couldn't just say he's the all-time leader. That's it. That's all I have to have. I don't need nothing else. But then I got to argue with you guys. I got to defend my stance as a basketball fan because you guys can't argue it. So you want me to add additional stuff. So I started talking about all the other things. And I mentioned him shooting 50% from the field for his career better for over 20 seasons. Then I get LeBron cannot shoot. We need context. That's him getting layups and dunks and all of this nonsense that we keep hearing about LeBron James. All lies. All lies. Right?
Lies?
Yes, lies. So let go, show the first graph for me, Brandon. This is a graph that I did based off of basketballreference.com. I did this video for us because people always talk about LeBron James not being able to shoot. So I went and found what he does outside of 3 feet, because supposedly LeBron James only scores 3 feet at the rim. And nobody wants to give him credit for actually getting at 3 feet to get his shot. They think he's like Karl Malone. He just gets the ball 3 feet and does a hook shot and he gets an easy basket. But LeBron James, from this standpoint, as y'all can see, is on par with league average when it comes to shooting outside of these fields for his career. And I gave Jordan's numbers there just to have that, because Jordan fans always want to talk. But let's go on to the next graph, because Lowe came on and said that LeBron James is a horrible mid-range shooter. He's horrible at shooting from the free throw line. But he brought up NBA.com information. Now, NBA.com has a mid-range percentage that we can all look up. I didn't know that. Thanks for giving us that information, though. So I went to go look up that information and transferred it with Basketball Reference. Now, Basketball References use a footage, right? So for me, I'm guessing anything outside of 10 feet to 3-point would be considered mid-range. Am I correct, guys? Apparently, anybody want to say yes or no? Anybody?
Mid-range is anywhere that's not a 3-pointer. That's a jump shot, like outside the paint.
So outside the paint is 10 feet, 10 to 3 feet, right?
Let me see.
10 to 3-point line, correct?
So the NBA.com.
Well, it could be to the right.
Right there. That's
for 2000. That's for 2000 and 2023. Which is this season, which was about a couple of days ago, is 39.8%. That's what they shoot for this season. LeBron shooting 38.4. For LeBron's career is 38.2 from mid range from NBA.com.
You could shoot like a 7-8 foot baseline mid range, and that still counts as mid range, because technically you're still not in the paint, so that still counts too.
But now the NBA doesn't give you a footage for what mid range is.
They just give you mid range.
They just give you mid range. So, but I'm just gonna take mid range from Basketball Reference as far as 10 feet to the 3-point line. All right, that's what they have listed, because they have 0 to 3 feet, 3 to 10 feet, then 10 to 16 feet, and then 16 to 3-point.
Hold on, when you say 3-point to 3 feet, I mean 3 to 10 is in the paint, so you can't really count that.
No, that was the graph I did before, because the video was talking about LeBron James baskets at the 3 feet, because they were basically making it sound like LeBron only scores at 3 feet at the rim, which only 35% of his shots come at 3 feet of the rim. So LeBron doesn't take most of his shots. He doesn't take majority, like a bunch of shots from there. He's 30% is not even that much, but as far as his percentages is ridiculous. But either way, I brought up the mid range, because that's the thing. People say he can't shoot, because his supposedly his 34.4% from 3-point land is not good enough, right? So what I did was, because of Lowe's information, I went and found LeBron James mid-range shooting from the last 20 seasons, from 2004 to 2023, and you can see here all his numbers for mid-range. His career average is 38.2. And if we go to what Basketball Reference has from the 10 feet to the 3-point line, it's 37.9. All right. So the main thing of my conversation was, we have to compare this with context by league average. What is the league average? What are you expecting a player to shoot from mid-range?
You talking about from the beginning of his career up to now?
Well, I if you go back to the graph before, I would say for league and the league in general, all of the league. Again, we're doing an all-time thing, so you have to count times. But in our conversation, we said we were going to bring up just for their errors. Remember?
And that's why I'm saying is like, are you comparing the league average from his very first season all the way up to now? Because that's how you got to compare it to where he shot the league average.
I'm going to compare it to. I'm going to do it to 2022. I do have the 2023 numbers as well. We're going to compare it. They're actually the same number. But let's go ahead and go to it. Yeah, let's go to the next number. Let's go to the next graph.
Because I have those numbers as well right now.
All right. Okay. What would you have as the league average from 2004 to 2023?
39.80. So 39.8.
Okay, we had it at 39.9. So and if we want to look at it from this perspective, let me give you the NBA from NBA.com numbers is that from 2004 to 2023, the NBA has taken 1,003,160 mid-range shots.
Is that from 2004 to 2022? Because I got a
No,
different
LeBron
number.
stepped on the court.
That's 23. Now, if we go to 2022, if we just do 2004,
I'm with you on that from 2023. The number I got is 1,006,080. That's the number I got, and I just got that yesterday.
Okay. Well, yeah. Then there's a discrepancy of 3,000 shots on both ours, but we got 400,000
percentage, so it don't really matter. It's the same.
Yeah, I mean,
percentage.
it's not going to go off by the percentage. It's going to be the same. You have 39.8, correct?
I got 39.8. Yeah.
And we have 39.9 for both. If we do all the way to 2023, it's 39.9, and if we do it to 2022, it's 39.9.
No, mine is 2023 up to 2023 as well.
That's what I'm saying, but we have 39.9 for both. It's still 39.9. That's what we have. That's the league average. But LeBron's average is 38.2, which I like I said, it's around league average. And if we count the NBA total average for the entire NBA season, I'm probably sure it's less than 39.8 or 39.9. But LeBron James shoots on par with league average when it comes to mid-range shooting. So he's not a bad mid-range shooter.
He shoots below.
No, again, below is fine. But again, we had the margin of error.
Subjective.
Yeah. No, of course, because if we go by a tenth of a point, then that means 2/10 of a point is the difference between being good at something and being bad at something. That's a very thin line.
Because to be objective is subjective. Let's make sure that we separate that.
No, I said that, but okay, so let's go ahead and do that, because then if we do that, Michael Jordan's a bad 3-point shooter, which
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
Okay, and Michael Jordan's also a bad shooter in general from 2-point. The league average the league average for Michael Jordan for 2-pointers is 47% for the career. Yes, listen, the 2-point percentage for Michael Jordan in his when he played in the NBA for those for the 15 seasons he's played is 47%. Jordan shoots 46.9. That's below average. That's bad.
Hold on. Say
the 2-point percentage. Any shot from within the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
Any shot, no matter what distance it is. The league average from when Michael Jordan was playing was 47%.
They don't have those numbers.
They do have those numbers. Basketballreference.com.
They got it from 97 on a 96, 97 season.
No.
2-point
percentage is that's not correct. 2-point.
Oh, the 3-point. Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
That's
2-point. 2-point.
2-point.
You talking about mid-range?
No,
2-point percentage.
Any 2-point.
Hold on. How are we going to compare LeBron's mid-range and then compare Jordan's 2-point?
Because we're talking about shooting in general. Because mid-range isn't the only thing y'all want to talk about. Why is mid-range? Okay, so let's talk about this. Is why y'all get. So let's talk about 0 to 3.
Well, I didn't compare that.
Right,
2-point.
James.
When you say 2-point, that's pretty much from the basket.
I'm comparing
all the way.
That.
See, you're comparing that, but the discussion that you were talking about, that's not what we discussed on TikTok. We discussed the mid-range.
No. But we know Michael Jordan can shoot good from mid-range. But LeBron James is not a bad mid-range shooter. And his average, his 3-point average, right, is higher than Jordan, right? The league average from 3-point is 35.7, right, from when he played. So it's a 1.1 point away. Right, which again is still average. It's below average, but it's still average. But it's above average from what Jordan's era was shooting. So that means if we count the whole total of the league for the whole time the NBA's been around and they had 3-pointers, LeBron is above average 3-point shooter.
But that's not what we're comparing. We're comparing about what they're shooting in the areas.
I know that.
He's comparing Michael. He's comparing LeBron shooting. It doesn't really matter if it's just mid-range. We could compare shooting in general.
I got this, Brandon. No, I got this again, Ralph. That is from the live. Yes, from the live, we were going to compare errors. But again, I told you, and that's why I wanted to show you the graph from before. This is an all-time conversation. So comparing LeBron to the best shooting era in NBA history and not doing that for Jordan, because Jordan is bad when you talk about comparing to this era. Jordan is bad in all of these categories. He's going to be bad in 2 points. He's going to be bad. He's going to be bad at the rim. He's going to be bad at 3-pointer. He's only going to be good from mid-range and from the free throw line.
It's like how the way you explaining it is like you're putting Jordan in this era and putting LeBron in Jordan's era. It's like you got to compare them to their eras.
No. I'm
That's what
comparing
I'm
them
saying.
all time. You can't. I want to compare them all time. You want
That's
me to compare
very.
eras.
It's
Now,
it's very hard. You have to compare them what they did in their eras.
No. I'm comparing them all time. All time NBA averages. That means the average for all 3-pointers for everybody. So I'm not. You guys wanted me to do it by the season. If we do it by the seasons, like I said here, by their era, LeBron James is an average 3-point shooter. He's an average free throw shooter. He's an average mid-range shooter. He's great at the rim, and he's good at 2-point shooting.
You can't. Nah.
Okay. Hey, Ralph,
Hold on.
tell us why
Man,
we can't compare different eras.
I
Just
was
tell us
getting
why we
ready to
can't
get
compare
into
different
that.
eras. Go
I'm
ahead.
saying
I want to know.
Players are playing in that era, and they playing
Mhm.
according to how the way they played. And Jordan played according to the way that his era played. So it's like comparing that and like comparing Jordan to today's game of what they shooting. He didn't practice that. He didn't. That's not how his game was played. The same thing with LeBron. They didn't shoot the three ball. They didn't practice that like that in the 90s. So to compare that average to his era is a very unfair advantage.
But even to Jordan's era, he's a bad 3-point shooter.
I agree.
I'm comparing
but
everything here's up here is Jordan
no,
compared to his
but
era. Jordan compared to his
agree.
era is average at the rim. He's an average player at the rim. He's just a tick above average. So he's the league average is 59.7 at 3 feet. He's 59.8. He's good at the mid range, which we don't really know how Jordan really good is because we only got 4 years of his mid range.
Yeah.
So we really don't know that. Okay, he's a good free throw shooter, which we never took away from that. And total shooting 2-pointers in total, he is below average for his era. Shooting 3-pointers, he's below average for his era. And as far as field goal percentage, 49.7 is a good average for a guard to have. So I told y'all this in the live. We don't like to do the good and bad talk. This is what you guys want to do because you want to call LeBron a bad shooter. And there's no statistical stat here that says LeBron is a bad shooter by the percentages, even if you compare him to his era. That's what we're doing here.
Compared to his era, yeah. I can give you the numbers right now.
Okay, give me the numbers.
All right. For the mid-range, in the regular season, mid-range, he shoots below average, objectively.
But that is not bad.
Not bad. Objectively, it is bad.
No, it's not. That's subjectively.
Yes.
Subjectively, it's bad.
No, come on.
It's not objectively.
You just said.
No,
if
again,
you're gonna go objective, you have to be above
you can't
or below.
Call below average bad. You can't call below average bad. That's your subjectiveness.
You just
that's your subjectiveness.
On the live, no. On the live, hold on, wait.
The pass to get a 50. You gonna say I failed, but I still did good because I got a 50 instead of 65?
He's just saying, to be fair, you just said that Michael Jordan was a bad shooter because he was 2% below average. When he was, if you're saying below average is bad, then that means Michael Jordan's shooting is not bad either. He's just a little bit below average too.
But like I said, we said Jordan is an average 3-point shooter because we don't consider shooting 32.7 bad.
Let me state this. Nobody was on the live but me and Ajani. And Ajani, I said objectively or subjective. You said subjectively. If we're gonna go objective, if you're a little bit below, then it's bad. You stated that. Yes, you did.
So that's an objective term. Bad is not an objective term. It's below average. That's what it is.
Average.
That's
what he said. Brandon, you wasn't there.
Let me tell you what I said. Let me tell you what I said. You asked, because I asked you this. I said it. If it's 30, at that time you said it was 39.5. So I said, is it 39.6? The average for mid-range.
Right?
You said it was 39.5. So I said, is 39.6 mean you're good and 39.4 means you're bad? And what Lowe responded was, well, no, I would give it about a point difference. And you asked, is it being objective or subjective to take it past that? So to either have the 1 point that Lowe had or the 2 points that I had.
No,
and I told you, yes, I told you the 2 points that I gave it was subjective, but to be objective, if you really want to be objective, you're going to say the average, and we're going to say what's above average or what's below average. Then yes, 1 tick under is below average. But again, my thing to you, what makes it subjective is your opinion that being below average, whether it's by 1/10 of a point or 2/10 of a point or whatever, is your subjective thoughts. That is your preference. It's not a fact. You may think that because it's below average, it's bad, but that's not fact. That is not fact.
That's what I'm saying. When everything was said, I said, is that subjective? You said yes.
I got kicked off the live after that, Ralph, and I told you, yes, it is.
No, your
subjective.
internet was messing up. That's what happened.
I listen. It was again. It is subjective to say that it's 2 points or 1 point, but like Brandon just said, you're not being objective. If the line between what's good or bad is 0.2 of a point, then you're not really being any kind of objective, man. That's not objectiveness. Because if you're telling me somebody who shoots 39.6 is a good mid-range shooter and somebody that takes 39.4 is bad, bruh, think about that. That's subjectiveness.
It's not subjective. Like Craig was saying, if your passing grade is 65, if you get a 64, is that a failing grade or what? Or is they gonna say, I'm gonna pass you because you won under?
If a passing grade is a C, if you get a 61, you pass. You get a 60, 70.
No.
What's the passing
the lowest grade? The lowest grade. Well, here I'm gonna say it's 65. It is 65 for these students. If somebody got a 64, is that a failing grade or a passing grade?
That is a failing grade.
All right, then. That's the whole point of what I'm saying.
Yeah, but shooting below average doesn't mean you're failing. That's what you don't get. No, it's not the same thing. Shooting below average is not a failure.
Do anybody understand what I'm saying?
No, that's called being subjective.
If you get one under a passing grade, you fail. What's so hard about that?
But an average is not a failure. You're adding something that you're comparing apples and oranges. You fail a test, that's a definite failure. You shooting under a percentage of something is not a failure. You think it's not a failure.
What's the difference of what I'm saying?
The difference of what you're saying is that what you're calling a failure in a math test is not the same thing as a percentage of somebody shooting. That's what you don't get.
All right.
I'm not just look at everything black and white. If something is not above the average, it's above average, below average. It's below average. Saying that something is bad or not good, that's where we're getting off and rambling on and off. We're just trying to.
But that's the point of the conversation, Brandon, that they don't want to accept that they are just going to call it bad because it's below average, but below average doesn't mean bad. Just say you want to call it bad. That's what I'm trying to say. They're trying to use below average to say it's bad when it's not. That's my point. You cannot use below average to say something is bad.
Here's the thing, though. When it's with Jordan with the 3-pointer, I admitted that he shoot bad because he's below.
Mm-hmm. But I don't say he shoots bad.
The difference is
bad.
We're trying to say that it's below average is not bad. That's what he's trying to say.
That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
That's what he's trying to say.
Just because Jordan shoots below average from 3-point land
doesn't
make Jordan a bad 3-point shooter.
That's the only.
It just means it's below average. Simple as that.
So how bad you gotta be below average to be considered bad? Then what's the standard?
You're below average.
No, well below average. Listen, if somebody makes 7 out of 10 free throws, that's not a bad free throw shooter. That's 70%. If you make 6 out of that's bad. If you make 2 out of 10 3-pointers, that's bad.
So that is subjective in itself because everybody has their own preferences of what's going to be considered bad.
Granted, that's what I told y'all that. But I grantedly, if you really want to be objective, you saying Jordan making. But listen, if you really think making 3 3-pointers per every 10 shots is bad, then in reality, you're the casual.
No. I'm asking what is bad? Like what is objective way to do it? What's the objective way? What's the objective way? Because we already established that all of this right here is subjective because everybody, like you said, Lowe said 1 point. You say 2 points. So that's
in baseball, a batter would like to shoot. A batter would like to bat 300 in baseball, but if he bats 298, is he bad?
But like I said,
if he bats the league average 300,
that's 290. You see what I'm saying?
My question is how are we going to determine this is objective? Because clearly
that's a personal goal if you want to bat 300.
That's
what's the best way to be objective? What's the best way to be objective? Like Brandon said, just say below average or above average. That's it. That's it. So LeBron James.
The only way to be objective unless we have a criteria.
I bet not see you prove any bad Jordan 3-point shooting posts on your group then.
No, again, if Michael Jordan shoots 13% for a season, that's bad.
So
just like Shaq's a bad free throw shooter. 60% shooting from free throw is bad. 50% free throw shooting is bad.
So,
Like, I mean, that's what I'm just saying. That's
something that was funny. How I just thought it was funny how Rob would say you can't compare eras because they did different things, right? Wasn't that what you were saying? Like you can't really compare eras because Jordan did this in his era, LeBron did this in his era. Like you was just basically saying you can't compare eras for what LeBron did in his era for what Jordan did in his era because he didn't practice this and he didn't practice that.
No, and
I'm saying with the percentages, you can't compare it.
No, but
because
I can say
era
that for
has
mid-range.
different.
I can say that for mid-range. LeBron James,
absolutely right.
During LeBron James' career, the mid-range shot, it has been an inefficient shot throughout his career because of the three-point shooting in the zone defenses. And ever since he's been in the NBA, the mid-range shot has gone down per game. And since 2014 and 2015, the NBA has taken more three-pointers than mid-range shots per game.
Rewind that. Say that one more time. You said compared
since 2003. 2003, the NBA has been going down in mid-range shots per game. Like they've been taking more threes and taking less mid-range shots.
KD been hurt every season.
I mean, according to what we have on record from the mid-range, the mid-range actually went up because in the mid-range from the 96-97 season up to 2003, they shot 39.26.
No, not percentage. I'm not percentage. Again, today's players
I'm
shoot
saying the
better.
league.
No, I'm saying the amount of shots taken.
The amount of shots.
Yeah, the amount.
Like Jordan's era didn't take a lot of threes. So like you said, they didn't practice threes. They didn't know it's true.
Well, they shoot.
The mid-range game is completely.
They shoot less now. They do shoot less mid-range than they.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Going on for a while.
But it's been going on since 2003. The mid-range started declining as of 2003. From here on out, has always declined as far as per game shots in mid-range, and the three-pointers have gone up as of 2015. But that was the first year in NBA history where teams took more three-pointers per game than they took mid-range shots per game.
So you say they shoot better mid-range? They shoot better at the mid-range today because
shoot more. Basically, they just shoot more threes. And I think it's not too much of a difference in
about 2,000 more.
Listen,
they shot 2,000 more in 2015.
They shoot better from every aspect of the game in today's NBA than anything else. From the 3 feet, they shoot better. From the 3 to 10 feet, they shoot better. Yeah. From the mid range, they shoot better. From the 3-point, they shoot better. From the free throw, they shoot better.
How they shoot better if they don't take that many?
No, they still shoot better by percentages. We're talking about percentages.
How? So the average say even though they shoot less, the average is higher, so they shoot better. That's what you're telling me?
I'm telling you by percentage they shoot better.
Well, how you get a percentage?
The same way you get an average.
Okay, then. So,
but that's what we're
you're using
about.
Average to say somebody shoot better.
For shooting, that's what you do for shooting. There's no other way to shoot shooting.
Okay, this is the only time you can use averages for shooting.
No, but that's how shoot. That's how are you supposed to determine shooting?
You were finding a percentage. How is you supposed to find percentage?
How else do you determine shooting, Craig? How else do you determine shooting, Craig? Please tell us.
I'm just saying, you averages don't determine who's better, but you just said average because they have a high percentage.
Averages doesn't determine better in points and those stats. But if we're talking shooting, we have to talk about percentages. There's no other way to do it.
So you shoot less.
No,
so you're better at it, right?
Listen, the best.
You just said they shoot less than they were.
Listen. Ralph brought up how the 3-point shot wasn't something that was a high volume shot. They didn't practice those type of shots. So you can't compare the 3-point shooting or the type of errors from the other era because it's a different style of game. Same thing with the mid-range. Today's NBA, the mid-range is just like the 3-pointer was 40 years ago. It's the least effective shot you can take today. Point simple and plain. The mid-range shot is the least effective, least productive shot in today's NBA.
But they shoot better because they
because their percentage is higher. The mid-range today is 39.8, and I can guarantee you the mid-range for the NBA between 1997 and 2003 is going to be below 39.9.
No, yeah, it's below 39.9. It's 39.26.
That's what I'm saying. So that means they shoot better at mid-range today.
They shoot better.
That's all we're saying. Again, today's NBA players are just better. So this is what I want.
All I'm saying is you using this average because you telling us that they shoot less, so because they have a higher average, they shoot better. Right? Yeah, that's what you're telling me.
No, but they shoot more threes and they shoot better at threes.
They shoot better at threes,
but overall they shoot better.
They shoot better in every aspect of the game. No matter what spot of the floor you want to go to, brother, they shoot better. No matter what spot you want to go to at the rim, they shoot better.
I see what you're saying, Craig.
I know he don't get it.
I don't get it. I really don't.
I
Explain
don't.
It to me.
You don't get
please.
it.
Please explain. I don't get it.
You don't get it.
Okay, they take a lot more threes today, and they shoot threes better than the 90s.
And
so
the average tells you, not the totals. The average tells you that they shoot better, not the totals. That's what I'm trying to get at.
That has zero to do with a percentage in the regular season. Zero to do.
You don't get it either.
I understand what you're trying to say.
I get it, but I get it clearly.
You guys just don't know what you're talking about. That's the
No,
problem.
You can't. You just
guys
don't
have no
understand.
clue.
You don't understand.
You're trying to make
Fine.
some point that don't make sense.
What you're saying
You're trying to make a point that don't make sense.
What you're saying is that for us to say a team is a better shooting, as far as shooting being effective, their efficiency. We're talking about the efficiency. To talk about the efficiency, we must use
I'm talking about the word average using any argument.
No. But we're talking about the players' shooting efficiency. By that, you have to go by percentages. You can't go by nothing else. Ralph, Craig, you can't go by nothing else.
You can't go by who makes the most field goal attempts a game. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand what you guys are saying. Just because someone makes 1,000 shots, it could take them 1,000,000 shots to shoot it. Don't make them better than someone who made 500 out of 1,000.
As far as shooting,
money.
So that's average, right?
What
it don't make any sense. It makes a lot of sense if you don't think about it. That's what they're trying to say.
Okay.
Money. So you say the total points is what concrete or what makes LeBron the greatest scorer?
I didn't know. Total points over don't make LeBron the best scorer of all time. What makes LeBron the best scorer of all time?
But here's the thing, Money. Johnny and Brandon say that.
Look at the totals.
What? Yeah, that because he has the most points of all time that makes him the best scorer of all time?
That's what they say. See, you're new to the
G Money, please tell us how do you determine who's the greatest scorer of all time? What's your criteria?
I think LeBron's the best scorer of all time, but not just because he has the most points of all time. It's a bunch of things. He can get to the rack whenever he wants. He averages 27 points a game. He can shoot threes. He just in general scoring is not just making a bucket. So the fact that he has the opportunity to pass, it just makes him so crazy on the court. No one knows how to guard him. He's just the best scorer of all time because he can score at any moment.
Okay,
so
you don't know if he's going to pass. You don't know what he's going to do.
See,
they are trying to relate field goal percentage to points per game, which don't make any sense. We're talking about field goal percentage.
Let me ask Money a question. So a lot of that you would say you use your eye test as well, right?
Yeah, but see, some of that is eye test, but it's also numbers go into it. So I can't just look at Tracy McGrady and just be like, oh, his eye test is crazy. He can score on anybody. He looks crazy. I think he's the best all time. Now, you also got to have points. You know what I'm saying? You also got to have at least 30,000 points to qualify for best scorer of all time.
No, but this is the thing, though, G Money. We've always said this. They can have their eye test. They just don't like ours. You see how you just explained LeBron James is the greatest scorer with your eye test, with your criteria, your way. They'll tell you don't know what you're talking about. That's what the conversation. Not you. You know what I'm saying, Ralph.
That's just where stuff gets subjective. You know what I mean? It's
exactly. So like you said, LeBron could hit 3-pointers. This was the whole argument. LeBron's a bad shooter, even though his field goal percent. So now me being my objectiveness.
That's a trash argument.
Yeah, using the stats now. Now I'm using stats to be objective, right? Because no longer using my eye test. I'm no longer going to look at all the great shots he hit throughout his career from the 3-point line. I'm going to go to what he actually did. He's top 10 in most 3 points made, and he's actually a good 3-point shooter by percentages. His percentage is 34.4 for his career, which is better than the league average for the entire league ever. So he is somebody.
He is a good 3-point shooter. That's a bad percentage.
His ability to get to the rim is better than anybody in NBA history by the numbers, not by
that right there when he says the 3-point shot of every area. Like I said, you can't compare because everybody you got to compare what he shoots within his era.
So why you guys always talking about 6-0 if
you're going to the finals? Why are you going to the finals when I say the 3-point shot?
The conversation is about all-time
players. Nah, bro.
He has to be compared to the players who shot the balls in the 80s. How can I not compare him to Larry Bird shooting threes?
You got to compare what he did in his era. He shoots too low in his era. Jordan shoots
why y'all guys always talking about titles? You can't compare
you
stuff in different eras.
You want to do that because you know this is the best ever in 3-point shooting. But it's not always been this way in the NBA. The NBA has not always been this good at shooting 3-pointers. So you want him to be as good as today's NBA when the rest of the NBA is not.
So I couldn't finish my statement.
So stop using the competition as an excuse then when y'all do.
It's not using competition. Again, everything that we use is in response to all the nonsense you Jordans want to talk about. We don't have to talk about competition if you guys don't act like 6 championships is the most and toughest championships anybody ever won.
Then you can't compare those eras. But we can compare 6-0 to LeBron when that era is different than LeBron's era. But we can't compare stats. But we compare titles.
This whole idea about mid-range. The only reason people think mid-range is it's worth more than 2 points for some reason or some glorified thing is because for 40-something years in NBA history, the mid-range shot was actually the highest percentage shot a guard could have. So Michael Jordan being a guard and being good at mid-range is some kind of significant symbol of him being a great player because the NBA for 40-something years told the guards, your best shot and the only shot you really gonna have is out there, so shoot it. And you better be good over there. And that's what Jordan was. But after 91, that stopped. Guards were allowed to go past the free throw line. They were actually allowed to actually enter the paint with the big men and attack the big men. NBA changed. Now today's NBA, now today, like we talked about it with football. Back in the days, you had a running back taking 25 carries per game. You needed a workhorse running back. Today, you don't have that. It's more passing. It's more all of this stuff. Everything changes. More emphasized on passing. Today's NBA, they don't emphasize a mid-range shooting. You know why? Because it is the least effective shot on the basketball court.
And so is having a center, but y'all swear
it's not. Because if I can get my center to shoot 35% from 3-point land, it is better than anything you're going to do in between. That's the point. So I'm going to get the highest percentage shot, which is get to the rim, which is why you need these great players that can get to the rim and attack the rim at all times. Players like Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Kobe Bryant, all these great players that know how to get to the basket. And then you have the 3-point shooters. The mid-range shot is the least effective shot because as you can see, it's only at a 40% clip the NBA hits that. And that shot is ineffective. So I can take it. You can take a bunch of mid-range all you want to. You're not going to beat me because I'm going to go shoot 3-pointers and I'm going to get more high efficiency shots by getting at the rim or shooting 3-pointers. So today's NBA, the mid-range don't matter. It's not an effective shot because there's so many other things players can do on the basketball court. It wasn't like it was 50 years ago where the guard could only take a mid-range jumper and there was no 3-point line to stretch the floor. So taking a 10-foot shot, 12-foot shot was considered great. Being Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, and all these little guards that were hitting these little jumpers from 10 feet, that was considered great. Michael Jordan's little 10, 15-footers was great. You do that today's NBA, it's not great anymore. You want to compare eras? Jordan's not great in this era. He's great in his era, but in this era, he's not. LeBron's era is better, and LeBron's great in his era. So that means LeBron's greater than Jordan because Jordan can be great in this era, and LeBron can be great in his era easily.
But yeah, no one in this era ever had put up the form scoring that he's did with a 3-point.
Because his era couldn't score.
He could. He could.
Jordan's era couldn't score. LeBron played. Listen, everybody played in the era where people can score. Jordan played in the era where nobody can score because the league changed rules and guards were not skilled enough to score and big men couldn't do what big men do. All this stuff about big men, no big man was averaging 30 points per game. Where are these dominant big men from the 90s? None of them averaged 30 points per game. None of them.
Defense.
Now it's defense. It's called they don't have skill. They were not good enough. They were sitting there backing each other down, banging each other up, and shooting 50% from the field. That's horrible shooting. That's horrible basketball. That's what that is. It's never been good basketball. It was horrible basketball. But NBC and ESPN made you think it was great.
So, okay. So, Karl Malone was horrible then, right?
He shot like 50% from the field, bro. 51%. What do you want from him? He said, well, how great is that? He's taking shots. He's taking 10 shots. I mean, from 5 foot from the rim, 3 foot from the rim. How great is that? That's what I'm saying. Like, well, how great was that? He never averaged 30 points per game, but once in his career. How was he dominant? What was he doing? Is he as dominant as Harden? Or dominant as Westbrook?
Well,
as dominant as anyone
to you, he was great because he was
third
all time.
He was
he's the
great
third
for his era.
all-time leading scorer. So by that, he's better than Harden. He's better than everybody who's behind him.
Yes, and he's in the top 20 list because of his.
And he lost twice.
Yeah,
he lost twice to the finals.
Championships.
The man who's in 5th place.
Because nobody really takes championship serious until it's Michael Jordan and LeBron talk. Because if we took championship serious, Bill Russell's the GOAT, hands down.
Okay, if we take championships serious, then I would put Robert Horry over LeBron because he got multiple titles with 3 different teams.
So then why don't you do that?
Because I don't consider just championships.
Okay, so why you keep bringing up every time we bring up something that trumps a lot of stuff? Your only answer is wins, because at the end it's the wins. But
what do you mean?
Yeah, everything we talked about today.
You said he had no competition. I'm telling you, he beat the 3rd-time all-time leader scorer in the finals twice. LeBron, you can't say that about LeBron.
He beat the best point guard according to you.
LeBron,
and a 2-time and a 1-time all-assist leader.
When KD passes Jordan, we're gonna say LeBron James beat KD and had more than Jordan. These guys are not done yet. That's what you understand. Like a lot of these guys that LeBron played, they're not done yet. They can still, I mean, Stephen Curry's gonna get 25,000 points. This guy's gonna get 30,000 points. Like this is what I'm saying. Like you guys are doing that because the 90s was 20 years ago. So of course most of the guys in the 90s
the
gonna
90s
be all
was
time
trash.
record.
They shouldn't have any players in top 5
Give it 20 years, give it 10 years, and a lot of those 90s guys are not gonna be. You see, Jordan just got knocked back. And Jordan's gonna get knocked out of the 5th spot. He's gonna get knocked out of the
they're
spot.
gonna have to play, and they're gonna have to play more than 15 seasons to do it.
No, it doesn't matter how many seasons they play. They're going to be great players doing it. All the players we're going to be mentioning in front of Jordan, like Chris Paul, is a great player. Don't get mad because Chris Paul has more steals than Jordan.
I'm not mad.
He's a great player.
He's
a great player. Like, he has more steals titles than Jordan. I tell you that much. He has more steals titles than Jordan. You don't want to do that.
Got more than LeBron.
Exactly. Exactly. So but that don't mean nothing. It only matters when it's LeBron and Jordan, though. See what I'm saying? It don't matter outside.
That's all. That's all we focus.
Y'all.
It says
Y'all,
James Kingdom. What do you mean?
Y'all see everything we bring up, bro. Y'all keep putting words in our mouths. Brandon actually explained how Jordan is the GOAT better than y'all ever have. Ever.
No. Yeah, according to your eyes,
I don't use 6-0.
He's a LeBron. He's a LeBron fan. So
no, I make some good points for Jordan.
Yo,
that graph he showed is better than any graph I've seen any Michael Jordan fan make Michael Jordan go.
Every time I start talking, why do I always get cut off?
I'm sorry, my bad, Ralph.
Because this is how they expose people, not letting them talk.
My bad. No, Ralph, you know that, Ralph. You know that, Ralph. It's my turn though, because I can tell you, it's my turn of the show. I gotta get mine out, but go ahead, Ralph. I'm sorry.
I forgot what I was gonna say like about 30 minutes ago because you and Brandon cut me off. I can't finish.
Listen,
cut you off, Ralph. Come on now.
Listen, at the end of the day, we keep telling y'all we don't like the negative talk. We don't like to bring up the negatives. We don't like to talk about losses. We don't like to talk about Jordan bricking. We don't like to talk about Jordan quitting. But we have to because this is a part of the conversation y'all want to have because y'all can't just accept how great LeBron is, how great today's NBA is, and you guys have to diminish things to make Jordan seem great. As I just showed you, Jordan is only great in his era. He would not be great in today's NBA.
Nah.
But
that's a hypothetical. Well, I'm not gonna go with that.
No one in this league averaged 37 for the season ever since he retired. Come on, no one scored 3,000 points in the season since he retired. So don't get me. He wouldn't do nothing in this league.
Jordan in '87 was not nowhere near where he was later in his career. So he was not as great as he was in the 90s compared to when he averaged 37.
So you guys really think Michael Jordan would take 27 shots per game with the pace of today's NBA and he would be able to
Thomas just did it like 3 straight games. What you mean?
3 games. 82 games.
That's what I'm saying. With the pace of the game, the defense, Jordan has to guard way much better guards than he would ever had to guard.
And they gotta guard him.
No, but that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. He's gonna get tired. You really think he can jack up 27 shots per game plus?
Why he couldn't?
Because they're that much better
players.
Better players today.
So you have to. It's more energy guarding better players than helping off your player.
So you saying with the same amount of training these players are with Jordan's skill set, he wouldn't be just the same 80s Jordan?
Jordan doesn't train.
If he had the same opportunity,
yes, he do.
Yes, he do. Man, it took Jordan 7 years to start lifting weights. Jordan.
I don't know. Like it's harder to guard better players and score than to guard players who can actually. He has to actually guard these players today. He cannot just sit around and be on help defense. Yes, they have to guard him, but he do have to guard players. Listen, if that's the case, Vince Carter would have averaged 30 points a game, but no, he had to guard other players who were skilled.
Jordan used to go gamble till 5 a.m. He used to get
Now
up
you're
and
getting
practice.
personal.
No, but y'all talking about when did he practice? Or besides practice, when did Jordan work out? Like that's what I'm trying. Y'all don't understand that Jordan literally was just all gifts most of the time. Like he worked hard on his game, but he was not like today's players. Like they did this like. It's a different NBA.
They
Jordan
podcasts
himself
and
said he couldn't
video
play in today's
all day.
NBA.
He's
Just off of the
definitely like
media
that key
alone,
player.
Jordan said he couldn't play in today's NBA. Let's not even count the defensive strategies.
You telling me James Harden could average 36, looking like silly putty, and Jordan couldn't do that?
Harden is more skilled than Jordan, man. Stop it. He has more skills. Lord. He has more in his bag, man. He got
this. You notice like when did they change that rule like a couple of years ago to where you couldn't create you couldn't
touch
foul.
Jordan. You couldn't touch Jordan.
No. I'm saying this generation. They just created that rule to where
you couldn't bump into them when you shoot.
Yeah, you couldn't create that foul.
Was that like last year? They stopped that.
I think it was.
Put his hand
it was the first year.
No, it was the first year. It was 20.
Last year was the first.
Talking about the rip through swing move that KD and Steph used to do all the time.
Yeah.
They stopped that at 5 years ago, didn't they?
It doesn't matter when they stopped it. Harden has. Harden has a.
You notice, ever since they changed that rule, Harden didn't average no more than 25. So in other words, before then, he was always getting to the line consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Consistently.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was getting all those.
That would be the same with Jordan. You realize that, right? And he shoots a better field goal percentage than Harden.
Harden can shoot further from the field than Jordan can. He hits more shots.
Harden's a better long distance shooter, better ball handler. James Harden's very skilled. He's a very skilled basketball player.
Very skilled. He could pass better than Jordan. He could do a lot more than Jordan. A lot more.
Yeah, Harden's a very skilled player.
But again, we're not comparing eras. We're just
and just like I said this before, if Michael Jordan played in NBA, he tried to score 40 points a game, it would be James Harden because he wouldn't be able to guard those other players on the other end of the floor if he's using all his energy to score points. Michael Jordan is not a robot. He's not going to score 40 points a game while shutting down everybody. It's just not going to happen. Something's going to have to give.
That skill thing is like I always go back to it.
You won't have to play him every night.
Different defensive league. It's a difference.
But that's the difference. That's what we're trying to tell you. Because of that difference, you can't automatically.
It's easier to hand check people than move your feet. It's a lot easier to hand check people than move your feet.
Yeah, the defense is much easier back then, but it was harder to score, and vice versa now. It's harder to play defense, but it's easier to score.
But the point is,
it would take a toll on you if you're trying to score that much and play defense. It would take a toll on you. He would not score as easy as most people think because he would have to go on the other end and play defense as well.
That was a part of it. Oh, go ahead, G Money.
It's subjective that scoring is harder in the 90s because in the 90s, you could hand check and it was a little bit easier to play defense, but in the 90s you could only play man defense. There wasn't allowing defensive schemes.
You could double team,
but now you could play zones.
Mm-hmm.
You could play zones, which are like revolutionizing defense. Defense now is crazy. Every single team has been playing like a mixture of zone and a half zone, half man defense. Defense nowadays is a lot more complicated than it was back then.
Yeah, the thing is, people think that zone is just a 2-3, and people think zone is just a 2-3, but they play zone within a man. That's what people don't understand.
And people think because scoring is people scoring more now that it means that defense is less. It's just the pace of the game is way higher. They're taking way more shots. It don't mean that it's easier to score on somebody who's playing defense.
The pace is quicker because you got the 14 seconds. You got the 8 seconds instead of the 10 seconds.
And a lot of the reason that it wasn't scoring back then was because the skill wasn't as good as it is now. You had people that could only spot up shoot. You had people that needed to have another person on the court with them at all times to make a shot just for them to score. You don't got people like that anymore. Everybody could dribble. Everybody could play make. Everybody could play facing the basket.
LeBron teammates can play, but he just doesn't have a team like the Knicks to play.
Right, LeBron teammates getting compared to.
Yeah,
So you want
prime
LeBron team,
example
but
of
9
this
times out of 10,
was
he was a trash player.
prime example of this was when the Lakers played, the Thunder, and LeBron got the record, and everyone was like, "Look at, this team is making all these shots. Who are these guys? Like, this is how the NBA is. You leave someone open, they're going to make the shot. Like, this is nothing new. This is how
That's
players
why.
shoot. Everyone talk about, oh, this OKC. Like, how are they winning? No,
That's
this is how
why
the
a zone
NBA
is
is.
it's a weak argument because that's how you kill a zone is shooting. So they're not playing that much zone.
They are
They're
playing
playing a zone
zone.
in a man.
Bro,
That's a
teams
That's
are
trap.
playing
what I'm
tons
saying.
of zone. Bro,
No,
teams
They're
are
it's
playing
not
playing
no
zone within
zone.
a
every
man.
single
They're just not
team is
playing
playing
a
zone.
2-3
not
or a
playing.
3-2. Zones today are complicated. They're not a high school zone. They're, like I was saying, there's a zone within a man defense. That's what they're doing.
Zone with the
It's a
man
hybrid,
defense. That
If
bro.
you,
doesn't.
It's
if
a
you
hybrid.
listen,
It's a
Yeah.
hybrid.
Zones.
You don't
There's
even
boxing
understand.
ones. There's
if you're
1-3
playing,
ones. There's 2-3, 3-2.
I know,
I mean, there's so many zones, but a zone within the man. That what kind of
A
Listen,
defense
zone
you call
within a
that?
man, as in most what teams are doing now is they're having their guards or whoever it is, depending on the team makeup, cover the perimeter in a man, and then the two players that are on the inside, the two bigger guys, they zone up on the interior
They're
and
playing
block out
the
the
That is
paint.
called a
NFL type of
3-2.
defense.
That's
That's
not a
called a
3-2. That's
3-2.
They're
not a
playing the
3-2. That's not
If
a
NFL
you
3-2.
type
have
of
If the
if you
players
defense.
have your guards on the
no,
perimeter and you
no,
have
no,
your
no, no,
That's the
no.
defense,
problem.
that's
That's why you
No,
don't
no, no, no.
understand.
A 3-2, a 3-2 is when, say, the person in the middle on a 3-2 is guarding a person that's coming straight at them. That person will stay there at all times. A hybrid between a man and a zone in the middle is when people are guarding a same person. So the person who's on the right side could end up on the left. They're guarding their same person. They're following that person all the way around the court. Like, I don't understand how you don't understand that. They're switching. They're not just switching everything.
but you
It's
gotta
like
understand
the
too.
not a
NFL
zone.
defense. They play man within the zone in the NFL. That's what they're doing in
Exactly.
the NBA now.
Yeah,
It's like
they do
the
that.
NFL.
No, the
Another-
NFL is different than basketball. We don't.
And
No,
they
the
was
zone
never
concept-
switching. They was
the
never
zone
switching in the
concept we're talking
90s.
about. Listen, no, the thing what you guys don't have to understand is that like if you're playing someone like the Warriors, you're not going to sit there and play zone because they have too many shooters. So you're going to play them more
Agreed.
man on man. You know what I'm saying? But if you're playing someone like Giannis or LeBron, who have or KD who can get to the rim, how do you stop Giannis getting to the rim? You cannot do it one-on-one.
You got to
defense.
play a zone unless
Exactly.
Like,
So exactly.
that's how the 2019
So
they did.
That's how same thing with Luka. How you think Luka's dominant? Because they surround him with shooters because Luka could get to the rim. So you can't play man on man against Luka. Nobody can guard Luka one-on-one.
But you couldn't do that in the 90s.
Even
That's why
Houston.
athletic players was dominant.
Even Houston, right? When Houston traded for for Harden, they started taking a lot of threes because Harden was hard to guard. He can get to the rim at will. So you can't really guard Harden one-on-one. You have to play a zone. So you surround him with shooters, and they shot a bunch of threes, but they didn't have great shooters then. So they used to lose a lot. But that's what I'm saying.
That's a play. That's the style of play. That's a 7 seconds offense at the end of 20 range. So
but they didn't run that in Phoenix when they had Nash. They didn't shoot that much threes when they had Nash. I'm saying with the amount of threes that they were taking when they had Harden was because Harden was so good at getting to the rim that they spread you out. So and like you said, they're playing fast too on top of it.
You travel.
Well, again, they do have the gather step in the NBA. They do have the gather step in the NBA. It does help the players out. We're not going to say it doesn't. I would agree there, but I don't know when they added the gather step. I don't know when that was.
That was Harden really brought it out there. I don't know.
And then first it was the Euro step first.
No, Manu.
Manu did the Euro step.
Changed everything.
But the Euro step been going on since the 80s.
But it hasn't been going on as much as when Manu started doing it.
They'll call it travel.
Yeah,
but the Euro step is a legal move. It's two steps. It's
exactly. It is illegal.
But the gather step is an extra step.
But if you drag your foot, they will call you if you drag that foot and don't pick it up. They will call you.
That's true. But again, that is all a part of the game. But still, it's hard to play defense in today's NBA. And for y'all to think that Michael Jordan's going to take 28 shots per game plus play top.
If he could take a fourth step, he could.
According to the rule changes and everything, I agree with you. According to the rules,
it'll be hard. Jordan is going to be great. Again, Jordan is one of the greatest players to ever play the game of basketball. He will adjust. He's going to do a lot of great things on the basketball court. But to just automatically assume he's going to come and score 40 points per game and just dominate today's NBA. I mean, even Harden didn't average 40 points per game. So it's like, Jordan's not a great three-point shooter. So how, you know what I'm saying? He has to.
He's below average to your term.
You got to understand.
I said he's not great.
Jordan was so fast. Jordan was so fast.
I said he's average.
I mean, these guys are pretty quick today.
He was so fast with
these
a
guys are
jump
pretty quick
shot.
today.
But you have guys that fast that don't have a jump shot. or that can't shoot that perimeter shot like that. Jordan had both, so that's what made him really
Yeah,
dangerous back then.
but
Yeah,
And
Jordan
yeah.
was able,
like if you can't be physical with him, you can't touch him. Yo,
but Jordan was
let's be
able to
honest.
get to his Jordan was able to get to his spots because they were playing man-on-man defenses. So again, he
Yeah.
had a lot of space. He's
He
not going to have
yeah
that kind of
he
space.
was able to work in his comfort spot.
Yeah, it's going to be harder for him. And again, he'll be great because Michael Jordan could get past you.
Regular season, you know, he'll probably do what he have to do. But once he gets to the playoff and they could do those defensive strategies, and like I said, play that man within a zone like when the NFL do, it's going to be a lot different. Even Kevin Durant struggled
I feel
with
like he
that
would
type
have
of
went
defense.
through it. I feel like he would have went through his growing pains like he did in the '90s. Yeah, I
Yeah,
do
he would have
really
got
feel
it.
that
He would
way.
have had a
He,
teammate.
But
he he would be amazing. He would be great.
Hey,
But I'm just saying, like he would not be the same Michael Jordan as the best defender and best scorer.
hold
One
on,
will
guys.
have to give.
I got something good because we're talking about this, right? Carlos Diaz Oso Loso says that he travels when he does a step back. Do you think they added the gather because of the step back? Because the step back is a travel.
yeah, like crazy.
You think that's why they added the gather
I'm
step? Because
telling
they
you,
wanted.
they did everything. The scoring makes money, not defense. No one wants to see an 80-59 basketball game. They want to see it in 100. So how do you do that? You let them. You give a little.
I know,
And
but
this
I'm
is-
just saying though, the gather step, because the gather step is supposedly is a step that allows them to take one step while they're gathering the ball.
And that would also make Jordan great. He made people watch TV when it was.
No,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. Jordan was the other, but that's a good thing because to me, I thought the step back was a travel. I always thought that's a travel. Man.
Always.
I always thought that was a travel. So maybe that's why they added the gather step, because when you're gathering the ball, that's when you're stepping back, so you get to take the 1-2 afterwards and shoot it. You know what I mean?
Not only that, then you could jump into the play and get 3 shots. They was doing it. They was doing the most.
But like I said, again, today's NBA is great. It's been a great show too, guys. We've been going on a little bit longer than we need to. But again, we don't like to talk those bad narratives. We like to talk good stuff. But again, y'all don't like how we do when we use our eye test. Brandon's eye test was on point today. Y'all didn't like that. I didn't have an eye test today.
It's just that we disagree.
It's perfect.
That's a
If
part
you
of it.
disagree,
It
you
is-
disagree.
it
But
is-
you guys
it is-
agree more.
It is a
Oh,
debate show.
that's all that matters.
It is a debate show, but I believe what makes Brandon and I and Go James Kingdom such a difference is that we actually bring information. So we don't just state stuff to just state it. I'm bringing information to state why I state the things that I state. Brandon's bringing up information to state the things that he state. And we are always acceptable to all the challenges, whether you want to come on the panel, if you want to talk to us on Facebook, TikTok, wherever it is. We'll be on your live Monday, Ralph. So that'll work that well. So let's say goodbye to everybody. Let everybody know where you're at. G Money, you go first. Where can they find you? What platforms are you on as far as for basketball talk?
Shoot, I'm just in the group, bro. That's it.
He's just on Go James Kingdom.
You didn't go, James. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we have Craig King, who's on Facebook. Craig, you don't have no other platforms. You're just a Facebook guy, right? All right.
Yeah, I
And
just
we
be
got
in the groups.
and we got Ralph Alexander on Facebook and also on TikTok. And y'all should check out Ralph's lives. He actually gets some good people on there. He gets Low. They get Chill Town. Obviously, all the other distractors come on there too, like GA and Omar and them. They're distractors. They're distractors. That's what I call them. It's a beef thing. We got beef. It's all right. It's all right.
It's not no beef. It's all.
It's not like no beef. But I'm saying it's basketball talk beef. They're out for.
Well, I mean that's what sells. Just like offense in the league now.
Okay. Well, if getting exposed gets you popular, I'm all for it. Let's continue to get them exposed like we always do. So,
It all depends on what you want to do exposing now. I mean,
I'm exposed. This is what I expose. I expose all the lies and the myths told about LeBron James and all the false narratives spilt by the ESPN, NBC fans that exist. That's my job.
Yeah, I just posted when they said 29 states think he the GOAT. Yeah, I was running with that.
That's you guys know what geotag is? Do anybody know what geotag is? You know what geotag is, Brandon?
What's that?
Geotag is a thing where it's funny. It's I'm be real. White people do this stuff. All right. My daughter was doing it. Basically, people have these, they call geotags. They're just like a box that you put somewhere in a random part of the United States, and you put things in these boxes, and people actually have to find these boxes. It's like a game that they play. And there's nothing to it but just finding a box and you just tag off. So the geotag is like a big community of a lot of people. So I guess from the geotag community, they're the ones who stated LeBron James is the GOAT. They're not like a basketball aficionado or nothing like that. They're just a bunch of people that go around the country and literally go look up geotag. You can go up on the website, you'll see it. They'll show you in your neighborhood right now. There's probably a geotag, something sitting around, and it's like they put them in odd spots, like in the like down here. There's one by
in the LeBron section.
No, like we have a castle down here in South Florida that's made by Coral Rock, right? It's made by Coral Rock. Some famous guy made it back in the days, but somebody put a geotag there. So if you're ever looking for that thing, you'll go there, and then when you go look for the geotag, it has a GPS. It's satellite track stuff. It's like a little box, and in the box, people leave like items and memorabilia and stuff like that. And it's just to say that I was here. You know what I'm saying? It's weird stuff. My daughter did it with her. I did it with my daughter. They took her to a payphone. That's why somebody put it where there was a payphone, because you rarely see payphones in today. So they put one by a payphone. So like I said, that's just what geotag is. Like I said, yeah, y'all can look it up. It's not basketball related, but it's fun to mess with y'all about it though, because that means that's a lot of people who like LeBron.
It is a lot of people that like LeBron.
It is.
There's a lot of people that like LeBron, but there's a lot of people who think Jordan the GOAT.
Well, if y'all stop making burner accounts, it'd be less people.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, y'all see what I've been tagging y'all and stuff, yo. All the stupidity that I gotta put up with.
Well, thanks for joining GOAT James Kingdom, y'all. I guess we didn't get to figure out nothing with the mid-range shooting. It still is what it is.
Well, I was gonna run it off until y'all cut me off.
What you gonna
That's
say?
what I was gonna say. I was gonna read off the information. No, it's the end of the show. We can talk another day.
We can talk about another time.
We'll do it on your live. We'll do it on your live. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining.
All right, see you guys.
With B, Johnny. Y'all be good, bro.
I'll be in touch with you, Brandon, about the live.
Peace. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.